February 10th. Dragon slaying. Good God, man. That was a lot. God, I'm still trying to take all that in. Whoo! When this game wants to move, and it will. It will. I'm glad we're finally having like a couple, like these past couple of episodes. There's been a lot of like motion, and I'm happy for that. It's it's a nice reward for all the dumbass exposition they make you sit through. Altria. That's the name she was given when she celebrated her coming of age. It was wartime. It began with the collapse of an empire. An empire that had been meant to be eternal was slowly waiting to die amid invasion from all sides. In preparation for the many wars, the empire deprived an island nation of its military. That's how it began. Having lost the empire's protection, her nation had no choice but to become independent, and over time it broke up into smaller nations. The invasions came again and again. Internal conflicts between clans spiraled out of control. Then came a long period of war, which would later become known as the Dark Ages. It's during this difficult time that she was born, heir to the throne. A long, tumultuous period of war. The king believed in the mage's prophecy and so eagerly awaited the birth of his worthy successor. But the child born to him was not the child he desired. His child wasn't male. Fated king or not, the child could not assume the throne unless they were a boy. So the girl was entrusted to the king's retainer and was raised as a knight. The king was saddened, but the mage delighted. One's sex has nothing to do with one's worthiness to become king. More than that, the mage was convinced that the girl's absence from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof she was the true king. So she grew up under the care of a simple and wise old knight as his adopted child and successor. The old knight did not believe in the mage's prophecy. He simply raised her to be a knight and hoped for her to continue growing because he felt something from her that reminded him very much of his own lord. But even without the knight's encouragement or intervention, the girl trained every day to become stronger than anyone else. If an ailing country headed towards its own demise can only be saved by a king, the girl had sworn to wield a sword for that reason, and that reason alone, without anyone ever needing to telling her what to do. And then the prophesied day arrived. Knights and lords from all around the nation gathered in hopes of being chosen to be king. If this was to be a contest to determine the best possible king, all assumed the selection would be made in a mounted joust. Instead, all that waited at the sight of the selection was a naked blade thrust into a stone. On the hilt of the sword a glistening golden inscription read, "Whosoever pulleth the sword from the stone is the rightful king of England." Many knights took their turn trying to draw the sword from the stone, but none were able to draw the sword from the stone, so the knights decided to compete in a joust as they had originally expected on arriving. The girl was not yet a knight, so could not participate in the joust. She approached the center selection, which sat largely abandoned, with the peel having long since faded, and reached for the sword's hilt. She did not hesitate.
それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
Wait just a second there. Maybe you should think before you take hold of that. She turned around. Before her stood the most feared mage in the nation. He gave his warning. Once she takes hold of that sword, she will cease to be human. She responded only with a nod. To be king is to no longer be human. She has been resolved to this from the moment she was born. To be king is to kill more than anyone in protection of everyone. The young girl thought of this every night and lay in bed shivering at the implications until morning. Not a day went by that she was not afraid, but in that moment she pledged that her days of fear would at an end. She drew the sword effortlessly from the stone, and bright light engulfed the whole of the site of selection. And in that instant she ceased to be human. A king's sex does not matter. So long as they carry out the function of a king, none would care about a king's appearance or even bother to pay attention to such a thing. And even if someone noticed the king was a woman, it would not matter, so long as she was a good king. The sword's magical energy must have halted her growth. While many knights found it eerie and feared her, most saw their lord's immortality as a divine gift, and so, the legendary celebrated age of the king began. The new king in battle was seen as something of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Altria, the god of battle. Hailed as a dragon incarnate, she knew no defeat. In 10 years, she fought 12 battles and never once lost. In those days, her chief duty as king was on the battlefield. Not once did she turn back, not once was she disgraced. She was raised to kingship and fulfilled her obligation without hesitation. Maybe that's why I had a vision of her. Her soul must still be on the battlefield. It's not yet dawn. She stands into the indigo sky and lets the wind whip at her as she stares off into the distance. The sky is high and clouds slice by overhead. I'm getting chills from this, dude. This is... Out in the clear air, sword in hand, she gazes at the great army she's about to confront. The image of her won't leave me. It's burned into my mind now. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone which chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that determined her fate is also her brilliance. But I tilt my head in wonder at this dream. That sword isn't the one she holds. It's similar but different. The sword she holds now isn't the one she used last night. But if that's the case, what happened to that incredible sword? When I wake from my dream, I find myself in my own room. It's bright outside. I must have come back to my room last night, unable to make a decision, and fallen asleep while I was watching over Saber. And that was a dream? It was a strange dream. What I saw, I had no way of knowing any of that. And that wasn't the Saber I know. Is it even possible for me to dream of such a thing? That sword was definitely different than the one she had. I racked my brain. Her identity's become clear. Her identity had been unclear. And honestly, I still can't get my head around who she really is. Saber is Saber. I can't change the way I act around her, and I don't think Saber would want that in any case. But she looked incredible. She looked really cool with that sword last night, but she looked good with the sword in my dreams, too. It'd be fair to say that I was in awe. The sword last night and the sword from my dreams seem to have left one hell of an impression on me. I guess I've got a thing for swords. I thought Lancer's spear was beautiful when I saw it too, but my passion for swords is on another level. It would appear I have a thing for... Yeah, you said that. Oh, it's not really anything new. I draw a deep breath and reach up, finding my forehead dripping with sweat. It sure is hot here. I have the sweat from my forehead. It's winter, but my body feels flushed. I don't know why, but it feels like my blood is getting hotter and it's unsettling. I wonder why. Ever since Saber's sword, my whole body's been hot for some reason. My left hand with my command spells feels like it's holding a hand warmer. It's the same sensation I felt when Tosuka made me swallow a jewel, like there's something stirring in me or making me want to run. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. She's probably still asleep. She still hasn't woken up. But it looks like she's stabilizing. Her breathing is even, and that pained look she had last night was smoothed over. She is sleeping peacefully. It's a morning like any other. Maybe... if I let her sleep, she'll recover. That way, I won't have to make her kill anyone. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been. How could I be so selfish? I slammed my fist into the wall. My own weakness nauseates me. It's my fault Saber turned out this way. What the hell am I going to do? I stand up without another sound. I don't know when she's going to wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. And Tosuka's not up yet. The house is completely dead and the corridor feels deserted. No, it only feels like that because I'm so down. I can't decide what to do, so the whole world feels hazy and I'm just wandering in that grayness. I hear something cutting through the air. It's coming from the yard, but I know that sound. Well, I don't feel like making breakfast, so I'll go take a walk and check it out. It's colder than usual. Must be really cold for me to feel it, feverish as I am. It looks like it might even snow. Coming from the shed, the sound of something slicing through the air reaches me at irregular intervals. As I cross the yard, my breath misses the air. Archer? I found him in front of the shed. Given how unsurprised I am to find him, I figured he'd be here. He must have been shooting his arrows. Then when Archer sees me, he lowers his bow in displeasure. That's dangerous. Don't shoot arrows in my house. What were you going to do if one hit something?
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。いていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
Nothing in particular. I wasn't using arrows to begin with. Can't hit anything if you're not shooting anything. He doesn't tell me that. So the sound was just his bow itself. For some reason, Archer was just plucking his bowstring, not firing arrows. It's a good-looking bow. I didn't want to say as much earlier, but I guess you're a bona fide archer.
さて、私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。
I wonder. I'm not an archer like you understand it, so even if you ask, I can't teach you anything about
お
archery.
前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじるもののことだろう。
Your archery is about shooting arrows for yourself. Mine are used to strike at enemies. You think of archers with a concern for things like civility. His lips curl snidely. I still can't stand this guy. Am I picking up sound? Yes, it is. Okay. I never thought to ask you about archery in the first place. I was just wondering what you were doing.
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが。
As you can see, I'm just keeping my skill
セイバ
sharp.
ーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
The injuries I sustained from Saber have healed. I can't stay on guard duty forever. So his wounds have healed. That means Tezuka will get back into the fight. I turn on my heel. If Tezuka and Archer are going to return the battle, I need to make a decision too. I need to go somewhere I can think
斬
alone.
新という言葉があるな。
Have you heard the word Zanshin before? Huh?
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。
It literally means lingering heart, and it's a concept dealing with the time you have after making your move.
私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
I feel it's the only thing my archery and your Kyudo discipline have in common. What? I didn't ask for a lecture on the 8 stages of shooting.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Just listen. They say the body remains in the same place after you shoot a bow. That's what Zanshin is. Yes, there are 8 movements in Kyudo, called the Shaku Hasetsu, which are the 8 principles of shooting. The final step, Zanshin, is what follows after releasing your arrow. What about it?
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為。放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。
I'm talking about preparedness. Zanshin is not about making sure your arrow strikes the target.
矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。
An arrow has already struck its target by the time it's released. The shooter simply moves according to the image they
な
envision.
らば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。
So they don't need to check whether it's hit or
その
not.
前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
If when you shoot, you think your arrow won't hit, it won't. If you believe it will, it will. That's absurd. No matter how much you think you might... That... No matter how much you might think a shot will hit, some shots won't. If all they had to do is think it will hit everyone... Everyone would hit every shot every time. Why was that so hard to read?
少なくともお前は100発100中だろ
Do you really think so? You at least hit the target every time. He catches me off guard there, and he's right, but...
まあそんな話はどうでもいい言いたいことは一つだけだ斬新とは矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない放った矢がどのような結果になるかなど分かりきったことだからな
Well, I don't care about that. The point I'm trying to make is this. Zanshin isn't about determining whether or not your arrow hits. Everyone knows what happens to the arrow they fire.
斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか
Zanshin is the mindset of accepting the consequences of the shot. I know that. You're telling me I need to follow through to the very end.
そういうことだセイバーのことは聞いた彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える
Exactly. I heard what happened to Saber. She must have known something like this would happen at the start. Fighting without any chance of renewing her magical energy could only lead to her
それ
disappearing.
はもう決まっていたことだ
That was already determined, then. Well, it's left to accept the results. He's telling me that no matter what I decide, no matter what it does to Saber, all I can do is see it through. I turn my back to him. This time I'm going to be the one to leave Archer hanging.
それともう一つ気がついていないようだから教えておこ
Oh, and one more thing. I'll go ahead and tell you since I don't seem to figure it out. His voice comes from behind me.
うセイバーはな宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう
Saber must have known she would disappear if she used her noble phantasm. She probably never intended to use it in the first place. This time I hear nothing of his usual sarcasm. No, I feel like a dumbass for going up there. We should have just waited. Honestly, I wonder how differently... I wonder if things would play out differently. Or no. Fuck, we probably would have encountered Ilya, actually, if we stayed. Because... unless she was just waiting in the shadows... Quite the conundrum. Maybe we'll see eventually what would have happened, but... for now... But she did use her noble phantasm. There can only be one reason for that.
セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ
Saber chose keeping you of keeping yourself from Saber chose protecting you of keeping yourself from disappearing.
決して忘れるな
Never forget that. For once, his voice is completely sincere. He's only telling the truth here. The park is empty as usual. Maybe because it's chillier than usual. There's hardly anyone out. It looks like I'm the only one walking around right now. I slumped down onto a bench. Well, I came here to be alone. Now that I'm here, I should think of what to do next. I can't put my decision off any longer. If I want to defeat the other masters and end this Holy Grail war, I need Saber. That's not what this is about, no. I just don't want to lose Saber, what that means. I'd have to have Saber attack people like Ryder did. Are we gonna get a choice? Can't let her do that. Giving Saber that order is as good as telling her to die. Besides, I think she just refused outright, but... My head slumps down when I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force her to obey me, even if she refuses. I bite my leg and shake the thought of it. Shake the thought off, it's ridiculous. Time slips by me as I sit on the bench. I have no idea how long I remain sitting there, just with my fingers trimmed from the cold. God fucking damn it! I thought I'd never see you here again, but you're here. I look up, hearing a voice calling to me.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
It really is you. Hello, Stiro. You look down. Did something happen? Ilya, did you come all the way here by yourself again? It's not safe. You never know where masters are lurking. I'm about to warn her that the other masters might be lurking nearby, waiting to attack. I catch myself realizing how stupid that would be. Ilya's a master. I shouldn't be worried about her. We're enemies. Sorry, I don't really have time to talk right now. I know we bumped into each other, but I can't talk today. It's going to be really cold, so you should head home. I don't get up from the bed so they dismiss Ilya. There are plenty of things I'd like to talk to her about, but I can't think of anything other than Saber right now. Go on. It doesn't say anything. She's looking at me as if I'm a stranger. Ilya? Sorry, I don't mean to be harsh. I just got a lot on my mind right now.
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ？
I know. Saber's about to disappear,
そ
right?
れで、シロはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
And you're wondering what to do. Just out of nowhere, Ilya's voice has gotten so cold and detached. Yeah?
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シロがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
What a stupid thing to worry about. No wonder you let Rander's master get away. You just need to kill losers like them. I've moved my feet. Something tells me this isn't the time to be sitting, so I shift my weight forward to get up. But my body doesn't move as if I'm entranced by Ilya. How do you know about that?
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね。私もあのビルにいただけよ。
There's not much to explain. I was there last night at the
も
building.
っとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I could only watch from inside, though. I try to move my hands and feet move, but nothing happens. No, it feels like the more I try to move, the stiffer they get. Those eyes. Whenever I see her red eyes, my senses go dull.
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。
Oh, you're already chained
シロ
down.
ったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
You really weren't on your guard at all. I thought it'd be easier to capture you if you were all alone, but you're so cute getting caught so easily. Ilya, you...
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。
It's no use, brother! You can't move
正
now.
直声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。
Soon you won't be able to talk, but there's nothing to worry
私も
about.
ね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
I actually didn't come here to talk today either. Ilya's eyes blaze with murderous intent. This is the Ilya I saw. This is Ilya as I saw her the other night, Berserker's master. Do you plan to kill me right here? I grit my teeth and gather all my strength. But my fingers won't so much as budge. It's like Ilya's stare has frozen every nerve in my body.
うん。だって、もうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたら、シローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。
Yep, there's no reason for you to remain a master, right? If Saber disappears, you'll be all alone. I can't have you go on being a
戦
master.
う手段がなくなったシローなんて、簡単に殺せるんだから。
I can kill you easily if you have no other means to fight. She raises her hand. Her slender white fingers reach from my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。
I'm glad I found you before the others
そ
killed
れじ
you.
ゃ、おやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから、早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
So good night, brother! Saber's going to disappear anyway, so the sooner the better, right? My vision fades. My limbs have gone completely numb, and now I can't see either. I'm other than stuck in this darkness. Before I can figure out whether I'm alive or dead, I lose consciousness. My body is burning. Even if my consciousness has fallen into darkness, the burning in my body tells me I'm still alive. Yes, that must mean I'm still alive. Even so, it may only be temporary. Ilya even said it.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
I can kill you easily if you have no other means to fight. She's absolutely right. Without Saber, I can't fight a proper battle. The Holy Grail War is a battle between servants, and there's no way I can go up against servants. That's been proved more than enough by now. Each time I got absolutely thrashed. Like Saber's dead, all I can do against servants is try to survive for as long as possible. I couldn't even do that. I was cut to pieces and even thrown out of a third-story window. It's only this weird, inexplicable thing going on with my body that's kept me alive. It's so frustrating, it makes me so angry. In the face of an unbeatable opponent, I couldn't stop the catastrophe in front of me on my own, even though I decided to fight. I said I was going to fight as a master and vowed to not hurt anyone, but I couldn't even keep those promises. I'm pissed off. The champions of justice I tried to emulate when I was young always had to win, or there would be no point. My body is burning. Every inch of me trembles with the need to win. But I have neither the means to win or even a way to fight. What good am I? I can't even fight alongside Saber without bringing her down.
それも間違いだ。エミやシロは格闘には向かない。
Another mistake. You're not fit for fighting, Shiro
お前の
Emiya.
戦いは精神の戦い。
Your battle is supposed to be a mental
己
one.
との戦いであるべきだからだ。
A fight against your own self. Suddenly, I remember Archer saying that.
戦いになれば、エミやシロに勝ち目などない。
You haven't got a prayer of winning once the battle
お前
starts.
のスキルでは
None of your
何を
skills
やってもサーバントには通じない。
are worth a damn against servants. I know that. I've certainly been reminded more than enough.
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。
Then at least
現
imagine
実で
it.
叶わない相手なら、想像の中で勝て。
If you can't possibly beat the opponent in reality, then beat them in your
自身が
imagination.
勝てないのなら、勝てるものを幻想しろ。
If you can't win yourself, imagine something that can win. You don't have to remind me. I can only win in my own head. What can I imagine that would ever help me win? I can't imagine beating a servant. I don't have such wild imaginations to fool myself. Any fantasy I come up with will be full of loose threads that'll come unraveled. My third-rate imagination hasn't got a prayer against these incredible servants. That's why... Who do I win against? How do I win? Still searching for that answer. Am I really searching for it? That golden sword. Meant only for her. I don't want it for myself. It's just so beautiful. For once, I'd like to hold it in my hands if I can. I guess this is just a bad habit I've picked up as an untrained mage. Since all I can do is look within myself, I tend to dream about stuff I shouldn't. I should at least be allowed to dream. First, I imagine the thing's basic structure, then reproduce it. I guess there's not much point in strengthening here. Strengthening is the act of applying something to an existing object. There's not much point in doing that to something that doesn't even exist. And that means I need to work harder if I'm going to remember that sword. This is well before the basics. This is from before Kiritsugu taught me strengthening, a magecraft process that I thought of on my own and packed with trivial steps. How do I do it? How did I give it form? When I come to, I have no idea where I am. Where am I? This place isn't just unfamiliar. There's a luxurious canopy bed and the plush carpet is ankle deep. There's even a stone fireplace, and it's clearly not just a decoration. What I initially take for wallpaper, I realize on inspection, is actually patterns engraved from the wall. I've gotten used to fancy decorations like the one in Shinji's mansion, but this is something else entirely. It's a little embarrassing to say this out loud, but this place is like a castle from a fairy tale. My vision blurs. My body feels strangely heavy. Maybe I'm having circulation problems or something. I feel like I might fall back asleep if I relax even a little. What the hell happened? I tried to get my cloud of mind working. Alright, Ilya paralyzed me and I just passed out. So Ilya's captured me. There's nobody in the room. My body feels heavy, but not so bad that I can't even lift a finger like before. If I really work at it, I might be able to lift an arm. I'm tied up! My drowsy mind suddenly jolts to full alertness. I realize I'm in danger and so study my surroundings carefully. I'm in my chair, my hands are bound behind my back, and no, my wrists are just tied with rope. Not as bad as I imagined, but I still can't move. My whole body is weirdly tingly, and I can't get up with my arms being tied behind me. How long I've been here? Is there a... No clock here. There's nothing in here to tell me what time it is. There's a window behind me. I try to turn and get a look, but the curtains are closed, so I can't see outside. All I can say for sure is that the sun's set. I ran into Ilya in the morning, so it's been at least half a day. I don't have time for this. I have no idea where I am, but I need to get back to Saber as fast as I can. Saber's in a weakened state. I can't be even more of a burden to her by letting something like this happen. I try to make my arms move. If I'm going to escape, I have to do something about these grips around my wrists. The door opens. I go still just as Ilya enters the room.
あ、やっと起きたんだ。おはよう、お兄ちゃん。体は大丈夫？
Oh, you finally woke up. Morning, brother! How are you feeling? Ilya's not acting at all like she had earlier. The coolness in her eyes is gone, and she's going back to acting like the cheerful girl she'd been at the park the other day.
どうしたの？なんか元気ないけど、まだ体は動かない？おかしいな。そろそろ声ぐらいは出せるはずなんだけど。
What's wrong? You don't look so good. You still can't move? That's weird. You should at least be able to talk by now. She peers into my face, looking puzzled. She seems genuinely concerned for me. I'm fine. I can talk and my mind's clear enough to understand that I've been captured.
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた敵はね、本当は地下牢に入れておくものなんだよ。
Are you complaining? Did you know prisoners are usually supposed to go into the basement cell?
それじゃシローがかわいそうだから、特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
But I felt bad at the thought of doing that to you, so I brought you to my room. I don't know if that's good or bad, but at least I understand what's going on a little better. I'm getting a clearer picture of what happened. I've been captured and this is where you live. I speak flatly, trying to kill my emotions. Till I understand what's happening here, I just need to listen.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森の後ろに住んでるんだって。
That's right. Remember I told you I live in a castle in the forest?
ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シローが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
This is a castle in the middle of a big forest. There's nothing else around it. It takes a few hours by car to get to your city. There's no chance of a rescue out here. Nobody will come bother us either. Okay, but why did you do this? If you were trying to kill me, you could have done it at the park.
なんで？私、シローを殺す気なんてないよ。シローは私のだもん。
Gulp.
他のマスターは殺すけど、
I don't like where this is going. Why would I? I don't intend to kill you. You're mine. I'll kill the other masters, but you're
だから
special.
誰も邪魔が入らないように、シローをここに閉じ込めたの。
I locked you up here so nobody could bother us. I find myself recoiling. She pushes her face closer to me, ignoring my agitation. You... I know it's inappropriate, but wait. Stop! Stop!
やっぱりシローは特別。ねえ、私のサーバントになってみない？シローが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シローがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシローだけは助けてあげるよ。
Hey, wanna be my servant? If you say to be my servant, I won't kill you. If you just not, I'll spare you. Leah's words are so pure and heartful. I know that if I nod even once, it'll be a choice I can't make, and I will absolutely come to regret it. On the other hand, if I refuse, the purity will turn to pure wickedness. Why is this a choice? With Ilya getting me so close, my mind grinds to a shrieking halt. She's not saying this is just because she likes me. This is more like an interrogation, a matter of whether I should live or
考
die.
えるまでもないでしょ。シローにはもうセイバーはいないんだもの。戦う手段なんてないわ。
This is a no-brainer. You don't have Saber anymore. You don't have a way of fighting.
マスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
That means there's no reason for you to remain a master. No, Saber hasn't disappeared yet, and I'm not going to let it happen.
けど、 そんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。
Oh, really? But it would be so easy to kill you in
い
your
いから
state.
シロはここにいればいいの。シロがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシロを守ってあげる。
Excuse me and stay here. If you stay by my side forever, I'll protect you forever. She presses close against me. I'm not sure what'll happen if I refuse, but I still can't agree. I can't. Step away, Ilya, no matter what I say, She presses her index finger to my lips. She giggles in amusement and watches me in my bewilderment.
もう分かってないんだから。
You really don't
いい
understand.
ね。今のシロはカゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。
Listen, you're like a bird in a cage. It's my decision whether to keep you alive or kill you. You shouldn't say anything that might make me
10
mad.
年も待ったんだもの。ここでシロを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて、そんなのつまらないでしょ。
I've waited 10 years for this. Killing you quickly would just be boring. Ilya talks like she's asking for a toy. The sheer cold-heartedness in her voice sends a shiver down my
こ
spine.
れで最後だよお兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
This is your last chance, brother. I'm only asking you one more time. Her eyes shine with hope.
シロ、
Stop with this fucking dumbass CG.
私のものになりなさい。
Her tone is bewitching and lurks no refusal. No. Easiest decision in the whole fucking game. I don't even need to think about it, and shit, even I only have so much patience. Every single one of them is sure Saber's going to disappear. If Saber won't disappear, I'm going to fight with her until the end. I can't let destroy the oath we made. Ilya, I can't do what you're asking me to. I have Saber. As long as Saber's around, I'm going to keep on fighting as a master. Soft gasp. For a second, her red eyes snap open, as if she's gone into rigor mortis.
あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
You little psycho shit! She backs away. She looks down but maintains her composure.
いいわ。シロが私の言うことを聞かないなら、私もシロの言うことなんて聞かない。
There's no good way out of this situation. I'd rather just refuse her, cause I don't like this.
今まで見逃してあげたけど、それもこれでおしまいなんだから。
We barely know you, bitch! I've been letting you do whatever you want, but that ends now. Her voice is dripping with hostility now. There's something terrible lurking behind
待っ
that
ていなさい。
malice.
すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
Wait right here. I'll just be a minute. Wait, what are you going to do, Ilya?
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シロも少しは後悔するでしょ。
Oh, nothing. I'm just going to go kill Saber and Ren. If I kill the two of them, that'll make you feel kind of guilty, right? Don't be so ridiculous. Saber and Tosuka have nothing to do with this. I'm only saying I can't be with you for my own reasons.
そうなの？けど、二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら、次はシローの番よ。私のものにならないのなら、シローなんていらないもの。
Really? Well, I'm still killing them. Once that's over, it'll be your turn. If you won't be mine, you're useless to me. I hear her footsteps moving off. She's serious. She really means to go kill Saber and Tosuka. Stop, Ilya! Tosuka has nothing to do with this. I'm the one you captured, so if you're gonna hate someone, just hate me. You don't need to kill
理由
them.
はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
I have a reason. I can't leave any other masters alive. Isn't that how Holy Grail wars work? You dummy! Don't talk about killing people like it's so easy! You shouldn't ever do that! You're a kid! You shouldn't even be thinking of this kind of thing! She stares at me in disbelief.
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ。お兄ち
Too
ゃん。
late. Too late. I've already killed a master, brother. She sounds so joyful as she says it.
もっとも、それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。私、あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
Yesterday, though, I thought you were going to take care of him, so I didn't expect to do it. In that instant, I surprisingly understand exactly what she's talking about. Lily was in the building last night, which means she must have seen the master. running for his life as the perfect prey. Only you didn't.
ごめんね。シローがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
Sorry, I only did it because you didn't. I don't actually like taking other people's stuff. She doesn't sound guilty at all. It probably meant nothing to her. It makes me realize something. I've probably known this since the moment we first met. She really doesn't know the difference between good and evil. That innocent laugh is just as much Ilya as the merciless laugh I hear now. It's not that Ilya has a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. However angelic she may look, is a devil.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシローの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。
When I get back, it'll be your turn, so you do your best to escape.
もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。
Then again, a little bird in captivity will remain in captivity because it can't
お兄
escape.
ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
Knowing you, you won't be able to escape this little cage. She leaves. She's absolutely right, of course. She knows nothing of threats or tactics, so she just says what's true. But I can't stay here forever. I need to escape to meet up with Saber before Ilya can attack her. I shake myself, trying to loosen the ropes around my wrists. Maybe she doesn't think I can escape. There's no one else here. If I'm not being watched, even I can manage to get the ropes out, but I still can't. My body just won't listen to me. My limbs move, but they're heavy as lead, and just trying to move at all is exhausting. She knew I couldn't escape because of this. I can't move like this. Even if I get out of the rope, I won't be able to escape the room if I can hardly move. My whole body feels heavy. Not because I'm tired. Yeah, I haven't been able to move since I looked into her eyes. They must be mystic eyes. I hear truly superior mages can perform some sort of magecraft just by making eye contact with their target. Restraint is a common effect of mystic eyes, so that's probably what's going on here. Eyes are how we take in visual information, so are susceptible to suggestion and spells. And that is why most mages employ some kind of sort of protection on their eyes to block out other mages' magecraft. Jessica would be so mad if she found out all it took paralyzing was a suggestion, not even a spell. Well, at least that was from the mystic eyes learned through magecraft. Some monsters are born with mystic eyes and don't even need to lock eyes with their target. I hear all they need to do is look to use whatever ability they have, but it's also extremely rare for people to have powers like that. And luckily, Ilya's mystic eyes aren't unique or special, they're just a means of sending magical energy at a target. And that means there has to be a way to dispel the effect. Her magical energy is invading my nerve, preventing me from moving. If I can get rid of that magical energy, that's just fixed by paralysis. It's simple. If there's a buildup of mud, then all I have to do is flush it out to clean it out. I close my eyes and focus inward on my own body. I may not have the skill to detect and remove foreign magical energy that's invaded my body, but I don't need anything like that so long as I'm dealing with magical energy that doesn't become a curse and taken root in my body. If her magical energy is lingering stagnant in my body, I just need a strong flow of magical energy to flush it out. Sorry it's crude, but it's all I can do. I apologize to my body for what I'm about to put it through. All I have to do is focus on my daily routine. The ritual where I force a foreign nerve down my spine. No, not anymore. I don't need to build from scratch anymore. Now all I have to do is flip the switch in my head. Instead of creating a magic circuit in my body, I just have to switch my nerves into a magic circuit. Trace on. I remember the spell to focus myself. You don't use spells to change the world around you. They're to be used on yourself to empower you to change the world. For mages, they're a way to initiate a kind of self-transformation. Spells are the first most basic magecraft used to create a mystic just for you. A command that will only work on you. Basic structure, analysis. My blood flow accelerates. Power builds in my blood. My body is becoming a machine for circulating magical energy. Probably thanks to the gem Tosca made me swallow. Normally this would take me at least an hour. Now I'm able to do it almost instantly. Composition analysis. I don't even need to flip the switch at this rate. I can't just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Actually, I say flip the switch, but I still haven't found the switch to begin with. Heat rushes into me. I try to get control over my pounding heart, and my hands slip from the bucking reins. Blood spurts from my mouth. I must have opened a vein or torn something inside myself. I channeled enough magical energy to flush out the mud that had invaded me. So it's no wonder I'm throwing up blood. Luckily, I don't feel any pain. Maybe I'm not in pain because of that self-healing thing I have. It's an abnormality of my body that I still don't understand, but I'm delighted to have it at a time like this. The ability to heal any non-fatal wound is my biggest and only strength right now. I do need to be careful not to rely on it too much, though. Since I still have no idea how it works, relying on it too much risks losing it all. So I can't rely on miracles I don't understand. Okay, now there's just the rope. I undo the rope. My wrists were bruised, but I was bound tightly enough to cut off circulation. I wasn't bound tightly enough to cut off circulation. I don't think Ilya tied me up, but I wasn't bound very tightly. So I doubt it was Ilya who carried me in here anyway. Who here other than Ilya might not be all that strong? Definitely wasn't Berserker. If he tied me up, he'd have stabbed my hands right off. I rise to my feet as I try to crack a joke. I control my body, but I pushed it too far. While I may not be injured, magical energy is raging through my body. Just moving around is likely to tear my insides up. It's probably the pain. Dizziness and nausea rack my entire body, and I have no feeling at the ends of my arms and legs. I'm not going to get home before Ilya gets back, not like this. Why am I being such a coward? I don't have time for that kind of thinking. I slap my cheeks and start walking. What? Eventually, I lean against the wall and start toward the door. I hear something on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. More than one set of footsteps. People are approaching my door and talking. They stop right in front of my door. Someone's on patrol? Damn it, I have the worst possible moment. There's nowhere to hide. I need to... Shit. This is not good. I'm in no state to fight. I'll sit in the chair and pretend I'm tied up. What about that bed over there? Fuck, I don't know, dude. Fighting is a no-go. That's not gonna work. This one is making me curious, but I think I'm gonna go with option 2. Pretend I'm tied up. There's no time for me to hesitate. I can't possibly fight like this, so I need to be careful until I'm recovered. I put my ears together to make it look I'm tied up. The door opens. Could it be Ilya or someone else from the castle? I just need to remain sitting here, looking like I'm bound up, right up to the very last moment when the person comes into the room and... Oh. Well, you're alright, Shiro. My eyes widen. For a moment, I genuinely think I'm hallucinating out of sheer desperate hope. I see you're tied up. I'll untie you, so please stay. Oh, the ropes are loose. I bring my hands out front. I don't understand. Were you not held captive here? Well, I kind of got free, and then I heard someone coming as I was trying to get away, so I pretended to still be tied up. Oh, I see. You were trying to trick your enemy into lowering their guard to give yourself the best possible chance of escape. She looks depressed. I'm not going to tell her that I hadn't managed to think any farther than that. By the way, you're Saber, right? You're not some illusion. You're the real Saber? I stand up and touch her. Please stop. If you touch me like that... Yep, you're real, but how did you get here? Why? I should hardly need to tell you. Servants need not explain their need to protect their masters. It is my duty to come to your aid knowing you have been captured. Well, how did you know I got captured? Or actually, why are you here, Saber? This is Ilya's hideout. You shouldn't be coming anywhere near here right now.
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか?
I should be the one asking you. What were you thinking?
行動するなとあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスフィールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。
I've repeatedly told you never to go out alone, but you allowed Iliasfield to capture you, easily at that, and bring you here.
シロはマスター失格です。この件については何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
You have failed as a master. I insist you make an apology for this. I know I was careless, but seriously, why are you here? You can barely move, so what were you thinking coming to Ilya's stronghold in this state?
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。
I could ask the same of
サーバ
you.
ントはマスターを守るもの。シロが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Servants protect their masters. It does not matter where you were taken, even Iliasfield's stronghold. She's as blunt as ever. She's exactly as she's always been. This isn't the weak, slumbering Saber from last night.
シロ、どうしたのです？急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか？
Why have you climbed up? Oh, I knew it. You were injured in your captivity. No, that's not it. Don't worry about me. I'm just glad to see you doing better. I'm genuinely relieved. I'm surprised to see her here, but I'm much happier to see that she's herself. I know it's selfish of me to think this way, but I think this is how she should be. I'm sorry, Saber. I don't fully understand, but you came to rescue me, right?
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
Yes, it's the servant's duty to rescue her master. Thanks. I'm really glad you came. What a relief. Everything sorted itself out. Now I just need to get out of here with her. Wait a minute. Is that Tosaka? Tosaka? Are you real? And are you really right here?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
You look better than I thought you would. Maybe I didn't need to come.
だからそう言っただろ、リン。エミやシロなど放っておけと。
That's what I said. I told you to just leave him be.
この手の男はな、周りに迷惑をかけるだけかけて、自分だけは生き延びるのだ。今回のはいい機会だった。見捨てておけば、勝手に死んでくれたものを。
Only does this cause trouble for everyone around him, then somehow survive himself. This would have been a perfect opportunity to just leave him to die on his own.
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。
Please, Acha, hold your tongue.
助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
I asked for your help, but that does not give you the right to insult Shiro.
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターなら、サーバントもサーバントだ。協力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。
You talk big now that your master's safe. First the master, then the servant. They don't have an ounce of gratitude for their own allies.
いずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Well, we're going to end up fighting eventually. It's probably best not to have too much in the way of fond feelings. Yes, I've hit a nerve as Saber grows silent. This guy, he's not just unfriendly to me, he treats Saber the same way.
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね、アーチャー。
Enough. I hope you haven't forgotten the situation we're all in right now,
おしゃべり
Archer.
なんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
We don't have time for bickering. We need to get out of here before Iliasfield comes back. Wait a minute. You came here knowing this is where Ilya lives? And actually, Ilya left saying she was going to kill Tosaka and Saber. That means Ilya and Tosaka passed each other. After relief, I think Ilya's heading to my place right now. If you guys hadn't come here, you would have had to fight her there.
ええ、そうみたいね。リリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。まあ、そうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
Yeah, it looks that way. I didn't see Ilya and Berserker head outside, though I must admit that if they hadn't left, we wouldn't have been able to sneak in here in the first place. I get it. They only managed to pull something so bold off because they saw Ilya leave. She's bold as ever, but this time that brazenness worked to our advantage. I'm impressed.
とにかく話は後よ。
ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないならそれに越したことはないでしょう。
We'll talk later. I braced myself knowing that this was the Ainsburns hideout, but it would be much better if we could avoid confronting any of them
セ
at
イバー
all.
がそんな調子じゃ、バーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
And Saber's in no state to go up against Berserker right now. Those are good gestures for me and Saber to separate. What do you mean Saber's in no state? She's got her color back and she's acting like herself.
あなたね、そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。
You should really know better than to be so blindly
セイバー
optimistic.
は全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？
She hasn't recovered at all. Can't you see that she's barely able to stand?
リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
Rin, you promised to keep that to yourself.
悪いわね、そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
Sorry, I need to go back on my word. Keeping quiet won't help anyone, and this isn't a secret we can keep forever or what anyway.
それはそうですが、しかし。
That might be true, but she sounds so pained. And now I see nothing has changed about her situation. Is Tosaka telling the truth?
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。できることといえば、シローの盾になることぐらいでしょうか。
Yes, she's correct. It's embarrassing to admit, but I'm in no position to fight with Saber right now. At best, I can be your shield.
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに、一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。
I figured as much. She's too weak to even armor herself up, but she insisted she come with
戦え
us.
ない代わりに、マスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょう。
She probably figured she'd defend you even if she couldn't really fight. She's so weak she can't even arm herself. She was willing to become a shield since she couldn't fight? What kind of absurd nonsense is she saying?
すまないシロー。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも
Should we really be having this conversation like now and not be focused on like getting out?
今はそれで。
I'm sorry, Shira. I know I'm useless as a servant in my current state, but I can at least be a shield. I know this is not ideal for you, but it's only... Come on. Why does she never think about herself? Why is she only ever worried about everyone else? To hell with that. Of course I'm not happy. Tosaka, why'd you bring Saber? Don't you realize she needs more help than me right now?
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所は分からなかったわ。危険なのは百も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
I tried to stop her. She refused to listen, and we wouldn't have been able to pinpoint where you were without her in the first place. I know it was risky, but we needed her. But you still... I want to tell her she shouldn't have brought Saber, but I stopped myself. I have no business criticizing. This is only happening because I went and got captured. Tosaka and Saber were just doing what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も結構だがな。今そこまでにしておけ、リン。
Enough squabbling. Just leave it alone for now.
マスターならば、自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
Masters are sensitive to changes in their home, so we don't have time to explain every detail just now.
そうね。イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。
You're right. Alias Field must be surprised we're gone, so she's probably coming back real quick.
話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、シロ。
Fine, let's talk later. Right now, our priority is getting out of this castle. Are you okay with that, Shiro?
シロ、私たちも。
Shiro, we should... Yeah, but if Saber is as bad as she was last night, it'll be hard for her to even walk right now. I don't want to push Saber any harder than I already have.
全く。どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
Honestly, you all underestimate me.
いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見れば、シローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。
Even though I'm magical energy, I can still fight better than Shiro. If anything, I am more concerned about him
リンは気
disappearing.
がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
Rin may not have noticed, but your magical energy is disordered, is it not? Well, this is nothing. I can manage. I'm totally fine, really.
では、私もシローと同じです。 苦しいですが、我慢しきれないものではありません。
And we are in the same state, you and I. I may be slightly uncomfortable, but it's not unbearable.
突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今は凛に従いましょう。話をするのなら、それは家に帰ってからです。
This may well be difficult to accept given how quickly it's happened, but let us follow Rin for now. We can discuss this further once we've returned home. She encourages me to go. I give up. She looks so serious, so determined that I can't worry anymore. You're right. There are tons of things I want to talk about, but they can wait until we all get home safely. I want to ask about her condition, and I want to thank her for coming to rescue me. But now isn't the time to ask her about the dream I had. Okay, let's go, Saber. I nod and get moving as best I can. Every step is supreme effort, but this isn't the time for whining. Even weakened as she is, Saber came all the way here. Oh. Is this a hallway? This border wouldn't be out of place in a museum. Ilia's castle must be massive.
ちょっと、見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても、外は一面樹海なんだから、急がないと朝になるわ。
Hey, no time to gawk. Even if we make it out of the castle, the forest surrounding it is huge. If we don't hurry, it'll be morning before we're out. A forest? So we really are in the mountains? Are you talking about the forest that's a couple hours from Yarma by car?
そう。アインツベルンの隠し城よ。
Yep, we're in the Einsbrunnen
こ
secret
の城
castle.
から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜
I
け
feel like y'all got here fast as fuck then. Once we make it out, it'll take a few hours to get through the forest. It's nighttime right now, so we should be out of the forest before the sun rises. Zuka heads through the hallway, not hesitating for a moment. She's probably heading towards whatever door they snuck in through. I figured it was night, but how long have I been here? I thought it was about half a day, but maybe it's actually been a few days.
シローがイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょう。それから半日が経過しています。
Ilias Field captured you in the morning, so it's been about half
日
a
付
day.
が変わってしまいましたから、形の上では丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
The date has changed, so you have spent a day in captivity, I suppose. I see, sorry.
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのに、シロは無事でした。体は囚われの身でも、心では負けなかった証ではないですか。
No, please don't apologize. Ilias Field had you captive for a considerable amount of time, but you are still safe. That must be proof that you did not submit mentally even though your body was captive. Well, that may be true, but...
ええ。イリアスフィールは少女に見えても、アインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのなら、シローはシローではなくなっていたでしょう。
Yes, Ilias Field may look like a young girl, but she is still an Einspan mage. Had you submitted to her, you would likely no longer be yourself.
私とて、その可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪、あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟して、この城に足を踏み入れたのです。
And it's not as if I did not consider that possibility. I came to this castle fully prepared to find you dead.
だから、ここでシローと再会できてよかった。
Which is why I was so glad to reunite with you.
マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから、私も負けるわけにはいきません。
My master has shown me that he's alright, so I cannot possibly show myself to be any worse off. I feel the same. I couldn't stand not knowing if Saber was safe or not.
ちょっと、やる気あるのかっていうのよ。
Hey, you two are serious about
も
escaping,
たも
right?
たしてると本気で先に行くからね。
You guys fall behind, I'm gonna leave you. Suzuka pops her head from behind the corridor to yell at us. Crap, this really isn't the time for us to chat. Let's hurry, Saber. I break into a run, urging Saber to do the same. Ugh. Everything hurts, but I grit my teeth and keep going. I drive my aching body on, following Kosuka. As I half limp, half run, Saber brings up the rear. She must be in a lot of pain, too. She's pretending not to be, but she's in no condition for this. Saber, if it's hard for you, I wanted to tell her I'll give her a helping hand, but I stopped myself. Saying that will just make her dig in her heels and be more determined not to accept help. All I can do is keep an eye on her. When she's too exhausted to complain, I'll just carry her. Honestly, she can be incorrigible sometimes. She has to be forced to even take a break. And so, with Kosuka leading the way, we managed to get to the exit. Only to find what? Hey, you said this was an exit, but this is an entrance, Tosuka.
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
What are you on about? You do know that you can go in and out of entrances, right? Tosuka hurries down the stairs. While I'm in no position to complain, Saber and I head to the stairs and into the hall. It looks like a lobby. All we have to do now is head through the big door and out the other end of the hall and we're out.
ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど。
And they're gonna be waiting like right there, dude. We're fucked. We are so fucked. Okay, we should be okay now that we've come this far. The problem now is how we get through the forest. We might be able to use the cover of darkness to reach the main road.
が戻ってきて、シロがいないって気づいたところで、後の祭りよ。
We really don't want to be here when Elias Field comes back and finds her
あいつ
gone.
が帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。何よシロ、その顔。いかにも服そうだけど。
By the time she comes back, it'll be morning. Hey, what's with that look? You've obviously got a problem. Nothing, just kind of remembering how ballsy you are.
変なところでおかしな確認するのね、あなた。
You have the weirdest thoughts at the weirdest times. I was getting more to her just walking into the enemy stronghold through the front door.
まあいいわ。とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
Whatever, let's just head out. I remember the way back from here, so we won't get lost. We head towards the entrance. The long, narrow hall extends to the lobby, and at the end of it is an enormous door. The hall was unbelievably about 30 meters long. I'm reminded that we're standing in an actual candle, but in the next moment... I fucking knew it! It was not gonna be that easy. Going home already? What a shame after you came all the way here. Elias shouldn't be here, but her giggling voice echoes up and down the hall. I whirl around. Everyone skids to a stop. The instant we see our enemy, we know we're dead as soon as we turn our backs to them. Fuck. Tosuka's voice trembles. Back at the end of the hall, we see her standing at the top of the stairs we just descended. She shouldn't be here. Ironically, it's a similar arrangement to our first meeting. Ilya standing above us with Berserker behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. Now that I can assess the servant's strength, I understand what a monster he really is. We can't do this. Even if Saber was at full strength, Berserker is just too powerful. It wouldn't even be a battle. That monster can't be beat, not in a fight. If we are ever going to beat Berserker, we have to figure out how to do it without fighting him. In other words, if we want to live, we need to get far away from Berserker. Good evening. I'm so happy you came to see me, Ren. Ilya's voice is cheerful and bouncy. She's smiling that same smile I saw the night we met, innocent but merciless. She won't settle to squash us like bugs. And that's when I realized we're not going to escape, period. No matter what I do, I can't stop her. Even if I try to draw her attention, that won't let Tosuka and the others escape. What's wrong? You're so boring when you just keep your mouth shut. I'm giving you some time, so I suggest writing a will while you still can. She giggles, but we don't have time for these kind of games. We need to run to the entrance the second we can find an opening. Even if we know we'll never get an opening, all we can do is wait and hope. Then let me ask you one thing. Even in this situation, Tosuka takes a step closer towards Ilya. I didn't sense your presence coming back. Were you hiding this entire time? Yes, I didn't go anywhere. I was watching all of you make fools out of yourselves from here. Oh, really? So that wasn't the real you heading outside? Right, I knew you were coming. I'm the lord of this place, so I should see my guests, right? Right then, the giant vanishes. I'm not sure if it jumped or just moved. Next thing I know, Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby, creating a whirlwind. This is the end for us. If we retreat towards the entrance, he'll slice us in half with that axe sword the moment we turn our backs to him, but we're dead if we stay here too. Our only other option is to challenge that walking mass of death, however futile it'll be.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ始めよっか、バーサーカー。
Are we done talking? Then let's begin, Berserker. The pale girl raises her hand as if performing a ritual and looks down on us.
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
I swear I won't let anyone get away today. Her declaration is equal parts murderous intent and delight. Berserker's eyes light up. Before Berserker had moved, only Azelia ordered, but now he's free to act and he identifies us as enemies. Something's making a grinding sound. Tosuka. Tosuka grits her teeth hard as if in regret.
聞こえる？
Archer, can you hear me? Tosuka speaks quietly without
少しでい
turning.
いわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
We don't need a long distraction for us. She just ordered her servant to his death. Archer doesn't answer.
バカな。正気ですか、リン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
Are you mad, Rin? Archer cannot possibly go up against Berserker
私たちは
alone.
その隙に逃げる。アーチャーには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
We're going to take that chance to escape. Archer is going to buy us time. Berserker continues to giving her orders, ignoring Saber. Her voice is cold, devoid of any emotion. Archer, who had been silent, is pondering something. His eyes fixed on Berserker, gives a slight nod.
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば、私も逃げられる。
A sound plan. I'll be able to escape once we know the others
単独
have.
行動は旧兵の得意分野だからな。
Independent action is an Archer's strong suit. He takes a step forward as if to protect Tosuka. Berserker doesn't move. Ilia's laughter echoes from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。
Oh wow, this is a surprise. I think your snobby of a servant can stop my Heracles.
案外可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
I never thought you would do something so cute, Ren. Neither Tosuka nor Archer are in any position to object. They know better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed as usual. Tosuka looks at Archer's back. There's nothing she can say to him. She must know her orders are absurd. They amend to telling Archer to die so he can escape.
アーチャー、私。
Tosuka is about to say something,
と
but
ころでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Rin, I just want to check something with you. Archer interrupts her, speaking so nonchalantly that it seems out of place.
いいわ。何？
Tosuka turns toward Archer, her eyes downcast. Archer's gaze stays locked on Berserker.
時間を稼ぐのはいいが、別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
Yeah, I don't mind buying you time. But you wouldn't mind if I just beat this thing, right? It sounds completely ridiculous.
アーチャー、あんた。
Archer, are you?
ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。
No, there's no need to
ガ
hold
ツン
back.
と痛い目に合わせてやって、アーチャー。
Give him hell,
そ
Archer.
うか。ならば、期待に応えるとしよ
Understood. I guess I should try to live up to your expectations. Archer walks forward, only 10 meters until he reaches Berserker. At this distance, it could close on Archer instantly.
バカにしていいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつバラバラにして構わないんだから。
You're making a mockery of me. Fine. Get him, Berserker! Go tear that cocky man to pieces! Ilia's voice is hysterical. Tosuka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出れば、それで私たちの勝ちになる。
Let's go. Once we're out, we've won. Tosuka grabs my hand as well as Saber's and runs. Saber doesn't object, she follows Tosuka. I start running towards the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But then from
う。
behind
エリア
me,
しろ。
Shiro Emiya. He calls out to me, his back's still to me. I let go of Tosuka's hand and turn around. In the lobby now, a good ways, I see Archer's back as he faces down Berserker.
お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Listen, you're not a fighter, you only create. Berserker draws near. Archer is still empty-handed and doesn't take a single step while he watches his enemy
余
closing
分なこ
in.
となど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろう。ならば、その一つを極めてみろ。
Don't think about anything else. There's only one thing you can do, so master that one thing. Archer raises one hand. I have no idea when he got it, but he's holding a short sword
忘れ
now.
るな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
Don't forget, what you need to do is always imagine yourself as the strongest. You don't need an enemy. The only opponent you need to fight is your own mind. I see him start to shift. Berserker sword sends a rush of wind ahead of him. I turn and run, not staying to watch the clash. Tosuka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run and I don't look back. The sight of the man in red made it clear that I needed to go. We hurry through the long hallway and out through the gate. Hard as it is to believe we were really in a castle. An old one at that, hidden deep in the forest. The whole place is surrounded by trees as far as one can see. I can't see any buildings or even the sky in the distance.
3時間もすれば国道に出られるからそれまで走って。
This way. We should be able to reach the main road in about 3 hours. We better run. 3 hours? Honestly, I'm not sure I'll last that long. I'm not tired, but the pain gets worse with every step. If I could at least rest, my fever might break. We don't have time for that.
早く。
Jessica sounds every bit as hurried. She'd given Archer his orders. As composed as she looks, I can see her regret weighing on her. I know we're going to catch up. Saber, let's hurry.
はい。急ぎましょう、シロ。
Yes, let's hurry, Shiro. Saber's eyes are downcast, but she breaks into a run with us. We follow Tosuka as she slips between the trees. Saber's breath rattles loudly in her chest as she runs behind me. It's too dark for me to see clearly, but I can tell she's struggling. I can't ignore it any longer. Saber loses her balance. I sweep in from the side and take hold of her before she hits the ground. That's it. You can't go on anymore, Saber.
何を言うのです、シロ。
What are you saying,
この
Shiro?
程度の苦境、今まで何度も経験してきました。私はまだ十分に走れます。
I've been in situations like this many times. I can still run. What are you talking about? Experienced or not, you're still in pain now. Come on, you need to admit you're struggling. I pull her arm. Saber hardly weighs anything anyway. I gather her effortlessly into my arms.
何をするのです、シロ。
No questions, just rest for a while. I'll be the first to fall if I have to keep watching you struggle like that.
無礼な、話しなさい。この程度で私が倒れるとでも思っているのですか。
No, insolence! Unhand me! Do you truly believe this is enough to make me collapse? Saber struggles in my arms, but her resistance is weak. Her thin arms have no real strength in them as she pushes them at my chest. It pains me to see that's how weak she's gotten. I never imagined Saber could be too weak to push away from someone.
何を考えているのですか、シロ。このようなこと、いくらマスターといえど許しません。
What are you thinking, Shiro? I won't permit such behavior, even from my master! Saber struggles against me, her face beat red. I can't really blame her. This must be a terribly embarrassing position for a knight to be in, but now isn't the time to worry about that. You're too weak to even push me away. This is an order from your master. If you won't listen, I'll have to use a command spell.
卑怯な。こんなことでレイジを使うなど、そんな無意を容認できるはずがない。
That's cruel. I won't tolerate such absurd nonsense using a command spell for something like this. Then keep quiet. If we don't hurt, Tosuka's going to leave us behind. Saber must have given up as she reluctantly falls silent. That's good enough for now. As long as she's not struggling, I can carry her and run at the same time. Spots burst across my vision. As I run, my blood pumps faster. I try to fight down the nausea burning at the back of my throat, gritting my teeth with every step. My breathing is erratic, but I do all that I can to hold the pain at bay. There's a reason for that.
シロ、下ろしてください。
Shiro, please put me
やはり
down.
私も走りますから。
I'll run on my own. The moment she sees me struggling, Saber looks up to me concerned. I can't stop now. Don't underestimate me. Carrying you is nothing. Compared to a broken stove, a girl's light as a feather.
ですが、
Just shut your mouth. Is give and take just not in your vocabulary? You've saved me plenty, so it wouldn't be fair for me not to do this. I need to pay you back for everything you've done, or else I can't have you protecting me tomorrow.
いえ、そんなことはないのですが、私の方こそ、これでは釣り合いが取れなくなる。
No, that's not true. And you doing this is most certainly unfair. Fine by me, it just means I'll only have to do something like this once. Besides, I'm starting to get motivated now. I take a breath and pick up the pace. Jessica knows very well that I have Saber in my arms, but she keeps taking us through narrower and narrower paths. It's a good thing Saber's so light, but following Tosuka's trip is a trial all on its own. If you keep talking, you might bite your tongue, so I'd appreciate it if you stop.
それではマスターの指示に従います。
Yes, then I'll do as my master says. She relaxes in my arms. She was tense earlier, which made her carrying her harder. Now it's a bit easier. The problem is now whether Saber and I will make it to our destination. I don't know how long we've been running, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Running doesn't take a lot out of me. I've been training hard and Saber is so light, but right now, there's something wrong inside me. The more I move, the dizzier I get. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I would have understood if I'd been bitten by a snake and the poison's doing a number on me since we're in the forest, but it's just nothing. The pain won't bring me to my knees. It's just heaviness in my chest and I need to throw something up. And it's nothing compared to the heat I'm feeling in my arms right now. Saber's closed her eyes as if she were sleeping. She's not resisting, she's relaxed. Her body is growing hotter by the moment. Her clothes are damp with sweat even though it's the middle of winter, and she's tucked her head down to hide her labored breathing from me. This is bad at this rate. It'll be a repeat of that one night. The night Saber collapsed from exhaustion after using her Noble Phantasm until last night. Saber's condition hasn't changed since last night. Was she able to talk until now because she was just in the brief window before she disappeared? I run in an attempt to prevent that from coming true. I don't care what happens to my body. I move my feet as fast as I can, hoping that we can do something as long as we make it home. I nearly trip and skid to a stop, leaning my back against a tree. I taste blood, so that's where the nausea's coming from. None got on the Saber since it was just a little bit, but the source of my nausea turns to my chest. You look at it, this is actually better. Saber would be pretty upset about the waste of food if I threw up. Actually, knowing her, she might well cut me in half for it. Yeah, that's funny. The bit of levity lends me just a little more energy. Okay, break's over.
いいえ、無茶をするのはここで終わりです、シロ。
You are done pushing yourself, Shiro. Saber, she wasn't asleep. She speaks up from where she lays in my arms. What do you mean I'm done?
シロは一人で逃げるべきです。その体では私を連れて行くことはできません。
You should escape on your own, Shiro. You cannot continue to carry me in your state. The hell I can't! I just tripped, this is nothing!
あるわよ。そんな死人みたいな顔で何言ってるんだか。
It says the boy who's so pale, he looks like a corpse. Jessica's come back for some reason.
強がるのは勝手だけどね。いくら夜の森だからって口元の血ぐらい隠しなさい。それじゃあセイバーに心配されるのも当然よ。
If you want to put on the brave front, go ahead. Yeah, the forest is pretty dark, but you should still wipe the blood from your mouth. No wonder she's so worried.
リンがいるのなら話が早い。
This is a relief. Turn present, I need not explain myself.
でしょうね。セイバーの言いたいことはわかるわ。時間もないことだし、そこの大バカにもわかるようにさっさと言ってやって。
I figure so. I just know what you're trying to say, Saber. We don't have much time, so go ahead and say what you want to say, so even a big dummy like him will get it. She nods. Saber nods.
リン、私をここに置いていってほしい。
Yes, and please leave me here.
私を連れていては逃げきれないし、何よりもう長くは持ちません。
You will not make it out with me, and more importantly, I cannot last any longer. I can't really insist she's being ridiculous. Neither of them needs to remind me how much worse Saber's getting. She won't last long. I had the sense she won't make it until morning, the way things are going.
そう。で、シロはこのままセイバーと心中する？
I've seen. So what do you think, Shiro? Are you going to die with Saber out here? Of course not. I've got no plans to die or let Saber disappear. She's going to disappear. I'll use my command spells or whatever.
オッケー。それならいいわ。じゃあ両方とも解決しましょう。
Okay, that's good enough for me. Take care of both problems
セイバ
then.
ーを助けて、ついでに3人でこの森から脱出する。今後の方針はそれで決まりね。
We'll save Saber and the three of us will escape this forest. That'll be the plan. My brain feels like mushy tofu. Jessica says the damnedest things, and always so casually. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'd really like to that, but we can't.
いいからこっちに来て。言っとくけど、私も簡単にセイバーを死なせる気はないわ。
Just follow me. I have no intention of letting Saber die either. I'll have you know.
ええ。 この機会は逃さない。あなたにはその責務を果たしてもらう。シローもいいって言ったし、そうしても構わないわよね、セイバー。
I'm not going to let this opportunity slip away. I'm going to make sure you fulfill your duty. Shira said it was okay, so you don't mind, right, Saber? Jessica looks towards Saber meaningfully. Saber doesn't answer, and instead she averts her eyes awkwardly. Once we pass through the exceptionally tall trees, something unexpected comes into our view. A ruin?
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。
We should be able to hide out here for a while.
来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
Archer found this place on our way up here. He said we could use it as a hideout just in case. Trees choke the ruins. Only one of the rooms on the second floor remains more or less intact. The windows are miraculously undamaged, and brilliant moonlight casts the room in its pale glow.
割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
It's pretty clean in here. Maybe someone was staying here recently. Nothing phases this girl. Jessica steps over the rubble and pats the bed near the wall with both hands.
シローこっち。セーバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
Shira, over here. We should let Saber here. We should lay Saber here. Getting carried can actually be pretty tiring, you know. I'll be right there. I lay Saber on the old beat-up bed.
どう？苦しいセーバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？
How are you holding up, Saber? Can you still move?
ええ、シローがここまで運んでくれましたから、まだ体を保っていられるようです。
Yes, unfortunately, since Shiro carried me here, it seems like I can maintain my body.
ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。
Okay, then there's only one issue
あれから
left.
1時間。イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしても、もう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば、朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていられる。
It's been an hour. It might take a little longer even if the Lucasfilm is going to pursue us. No, we won't be able to hide here until morning if they have trouble finding us. Oh, just reminded me of something. We've run as far as this room, and what exactly happened with Berserker and Archer? He stayed in the castle to hold Berserker off. It's already been an hour. Archer should have retreated from the castle by now. Jessica Heat. Jessica doesn't respond. She only presses her right hand to her heart like she's clutching something precious. And that's enough to tell me what happened to Archer. Jessica makes command spells on her right arm. A master and their servant are connected. In the same way Saber was able to detect when I was in danger, a master can sense when their servant is alive or dead. Jessica Heat.
まあね。足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。
Yeah, and I told him to just buy us some time.
最後までキザだったな。
That guy, he was pretentious till the very end. Silence falls between us. It feels like the silence will last forever, but
け
then...
ど、無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
But I won't let it be meaningless. Since I've lost Archer, I'm going to defeat Berserker here. The sound of Jessica punching her hand into her fist breaks the
悔やむのはこ
silence.
こまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の信条。ここまで来たら、あなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
No more warning. My rule is that I should take action if I have time to worry. We've come this far, so now I'm going to have you make a decision too. What kind of decision?
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
You should know very well. The decision to defeat Ilias Fiel by killing
セイバーを
Berserker.
連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。
If we have Saber with us, we can't get out of this forest, and having her recover naturally would take too long. Whichever we try, Ilia catches us.
わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るには、バーサーカーを倒すしかない。
Don't you get it? If the three of us are ever going to leave this forest, we need to defeat
それが
Berserker.
できなければ、私たちもアーチャーの後を追うだけよ。
If we can't do that, we're just going to follow Archer. Defeat Berserker? That monster? Defeat that invisible whirlwind of death? I can't imagine that being possible. If we fight, we die. Tosuka should understand that perfectly herself. If her plan is to still defeat him, even knowing that? No, that's wrong. What am I saying? Tosuka's not saying we can beat it. She's not so blindly optimistic. Yeah, I got it. We're not going to beat him to win. I should have realized that from the very beginning. We have to beat him, don't we? That's all there is to it. If we don't want to die here, we have to defeat that monster.
そういうことよ。けどそれほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。
Exactly. Things aren't as dire as you might think, either.
いくらバーサーカーだってアーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはずよ。私だってとっておきの宝石を全部持ってきてるし、セイバーさえ回復すれば打開策の一つや二つは作り出せるわ。
Yeah, it's Berserker, but he should be wounded after fighting Archer. I've brought my entire jewel collection, and if Saber can recover, then we can come up with a plan or
逆
two.
に言えばね、
In
バーサ
fact,
ーカーが傷を負っている今こそイリアスフィールを倒せる最大の機会だと思わない？
did you think this was our best opportunity to defeat Ilias Field since Berserker's wounded? But is there a way to heal Saber? This isn't the best place to treat her.
ううん、セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。
No, location isn't the important thing for treating
セイバ
Saber.
ーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれば、あとは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
Saber's only weak because she's out of magical energy. If we can replenish enough of that magical energy, she should be able to use her abilities like before. Jessica's explanation reminds me of late last night. She said that Saber's magical energy was almost gone, which is why to restore Saber's magical energy.
セイバーを助けたいなら、セイバー自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。
If you want to save Saber, you'll need to tell her to attack people and eat their souls.
なら答えは一つよ。
And there's only one
イメージを
answer.
使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられるわ。
I have 2 command spells left. I'll use one to make Saber attack people so she can devour their souls to replenish her magical energy. If Saber won't recover, we can't defeat Berserker. If we can't defeat Berserker, then he'll kill us. I look at Saber where she lies. We're letting her suffer at this point, but no, I still can't agree to let Saber attack innocent people.
ええ。今回は私も同意よ。
Yes, I actually agree this time.
これが他の場所だったらその提案をしたでしょうけどね。
If you were somewhere else, I might have
で
suggested
も
that.
ここはイリアスフィールの庭の中。人の魂なんかどこにもない。あの城の中にはバーサーカーとイリアスフィール以外の誰かがいるかもしれないけど、それを探しに行くのはミスミス七に赴くようなものよ。
But we're in Ilias Field's forest. There's not a single human soul around. There might be some people besides Ilya and Berserker in the castle, but going back there is a suicide mission. For Saber to eat souls, we'd have to be out of this place, but that's not going to happen right now. Those are nods. I'm relieved not to have to make Saber attack people, but then how are we supposed to replenish her magical energy? So what do we need to do? This whole problem comes from me not being able to provide Saber with magical energy.
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ。
There are other ways. I thought I explained it to you yesterday. I guess it's the day before
サー
yesterday
バントに
now.
魔力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。あの時はまあこんな状況になるとは思わなかったから言わなかったんだけど。
Sharing magical energy with the server can be accomplished by sharing Magecraft and a handful of other methods. Back then, well, I didn't say anything because I never thought we would end up in a situation like this. I tried to think back to our conversation that night. Now that she mentioned it, she said something like,
召喚時にセーバーとパスが通っているはずだからまだ方法があるかもしれないけど。
I think that's what Tosuka said. I remember now. You said something about a path and that there's some other method besides Magecraft. Right? Or did I get it wrong? At the time, I was shocked to learn that I might have. Tosuka, is there another way?
まあね、私がサポートできる範囲で2つ。この状況だと荒っぽい方になるわ。
Yeah, there are 2 options I can help you with, but this isn't exactly an ideal situation for either.
いい？セイバーの魔力不足は素人のパスが不完全だからよ。彼女を回復させるにはこのパスを完全な形に通し直すしかない。
Listen, Saber lacked magical energy because the path between you two is incomplete. In order for her to recover, we need to reform the path between you to make it work properly. That's probably the best solution, but I don't know how to do it. Saber summoning was Buster from the start. If I had been able to make a connection to supply her magical energy, we wouldn't be in this mess.
話自体は簡単よ。シローとセイバーを共感状態にして霊的なパスをつなぎ直すだけ。契約破棄や最小間以外にパスを修復するためにはそれしかない。
It's quite simple. We need you and Saber to bond properly and reconnect your spiritual path. That's the only way to fix the path without breaking the contract or
そ
resummoning
のため
her.
にセイバーにシローの魔術回路を移植するの。
And to do that, we need to transplant your magic circuits to Saber. Translate my magic circuits to Saber?
セイバーとシローのパスを新しくするには霊的に重要な器官を移植するしかないわ。
To establish the path between you and Saber, we need to transplant spiritually important
サーバント
organs.
とマスターが聖杯の力を借りているのなら、それに匹敵する強い結合を生み出さないとパスは通らない。
If the servant and master are borrowing the Holy Grail's power, we need to create a connection just as strong enough the path won't be
そ
formed.
のためにはマスターの魔術回路をサーバントに移植する。それくらいやらないとシローの力がセイバーには届かないから。
And to accomplish that, we need to translate the master's magic circuits to their servant. It's going to require something that extreme, or your powers won't reach Saber. Magic circuits, an indispensable mechanism for mages that uses odd to activate mana. If the core of a mage's existence, without it, the magical energy that serves as the source of the mage's power can't be created. To a mage, their magic circuits are more important than life itself. They see them as the thing that gives their existence value.
サーバントの回路をマスターに移植するのは危険すぎるわ。ゴーストライナー、それも英霊の回路は死にゆく人の体に移しても強烈な拒絶反応しかもたらさない。
It's too dangerous to transplant a circuit to a master. Transplanting the circuits of ghostliners, especially heroic spirits, into a dying person pretty much only leads to severe
そうなると
rejection.
残された手はシローの回路をセイバーに移植するしかないってこと。
So our only remaining option is to transplant your circuits to Saber.
でもそれは張り巡らされた神経を引きちぎられることと同じよ。そうなればその負担は
But it amounts to ripping nerves out of your body, which means the burden here will be entirely on the one offering the transplant. Ripping out nerves is the same as amputating fingers or even
待っ
arms.
てくださいリン。
Please wait, Ren.
それはあまりにもシローに。
That will be too much for
そう
Shira.
しないと誰も生き残ることはできない。あなたなら分かっているはずよ、セイバー。
If we don't do it, none of us will survive. You should know that, Saber. I gulp as quietly as I can. I have to get my priorities straight. We don't have time for me to hesitate when what needs to be done is clear. Can you make this work?
成功させるわ。でも成功させることはそのまま安全につながるわけじゃない。
I'll make it work, yes, but even if it works, it's not going to be safe or
失敗
easy.
させるつもりはさらさらないけど、成功すればシローの魔術回路はセイバーに奪われる。むしろ失敗した方がいいんじゃないかって思えるほどの喪失感と苦痛を生むでしょうね。
I have no intention of failing, but even if I succeed, your magical circuits will go to Saber. You will experience such an intense sense of loss and pain, you'll wish I failed.
もし魔術回路を奪われれば、それはシローが
If your magic circuits are taken from me, that means you. It would mean that my secondary nerve, my missing magic circuits, would be like a piece torn from my psyche and would damage the spiritual body's integrity, creating a fatal flaw in me as a mage. I will never regain that missing piece for as long as I live. My hope of becoming a full-fledged mage from experience alone will die. Once I lose my foundation, my magic circuits, I will always be incomplete no matter what. I nod for my own sake. Is that all? I'd rather save Saber. Okay, let's do it, Tosaka.
早っ。決断が早いのはいいけど、本当にどういうことなのか分かってるの？
That was fast. I guess you finally decided so fast, but do you really understand what you're getting into? I do. You already told me.
分かってるわけないじゃない。
Of course you
いい？
don't!
セイバーを救うために、私はシローに魔術師として死ねと言ってるようなものなのよ。なのにどうしてそんなに反論もしないでうなずいて。
Listen, I basically just told you that you're going to have to die as a mage to save Saber. How can you just agree without any questions or objections? Because I don't have any objections. I'm agreeing because it's the best plan we have. You should be more confident in your own plan. Seeing you panic like that is making me worry. And if we don't do this, Saber can't fight Berserker, right?
そうよ、そうだって言ってるじゃない。
Right, that's what I've been saying. See, and it's not like we haven't made any sacrifice. We have to fight and win since he bought us time. His stance told me to go. I didn't like him, but if he's willing to risk his life to protect his master Tosuka, I can't back out now.
いいわ。始めましょう、シロ。
Fine, let's begin, Shiro. Are you ready, Saber? We're going to translate my magic circuits to you.
それがマスターの判断なら。
Yes, this up to decision, Master. I hear neither affirmation nor denial in her voice. But her eyes seem filled with regret. I guess Tosuka is going to prepare us for the transplant. I don't know the procedure, so I'm just going to leave it all to Tosuka.
まずはセイバーからね。シロは魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機していて。
We'll start with Saber. Shiro, keep your magic circuits on and just try to keep your mind clear. I close my eyes and switch over the artificial nerve in my body. Thanks to Tosuka's instruction, I've been able to turn my circuits on and off effortlessly. A red flower entangles the white flower. Tosuka climbs up to straddle Saber, who lies still. Then she begins to run her fingers freely along the curves of Saber's slender form. Tosuka, what are you doing to
何
Saber?
って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと成功率が下がっちゃうし。
What do you mean? I'm doing this to help Saber relax. We won't have as good of a chance of success if Saber can't relax. Oh, okay. Sorry, continue.
ええ、どうも。それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバ
Now let's get. Oh, jeez.
ー。いちいち驚かないの。脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして、遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
Quit reacting to everything I do. We just need to take some of our clothes off. Transplanting magic circuits is a mingling of body and mind. We need to make sure you make as much contact with as little obstruction as possible. Tosuka's completely calm about this. Saber and I are the only two who are flustered about this as Tosuka begins undoing Saber's
待って
collar.
ください、リン。それでしたら自分ででき。
Please wait, Ren. I can at least do that.
腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの責務としてセイバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
I want to call her a fool, but I snapped my mouth shut. All jokes aside, I'm not suited to a task like that. If I had to do it, I wouldn't be able to maintain my composure. Sorry, I'm leaving everything to
よ
you.
ろしい。そういうわけだからシロも脱ぎなさい。
Good. So you know you'll need to strip too.
上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱いだら殺すからね。
Just the shirt, though. I'll kill you if you even think about taking off your pants. I can't tell if she's joking or being serious. It seems like I need to strip to connect with Saber, though.
シロ、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
It's only, I turn away and fold the shirt I was wearing. I try to distract myself from hiding how nervous I am folding up the shirt.
大丈夫セイバ
You okay,
Hi.
Saber?
だいぶ楽になりましたが。
Stop breathing like that. Yes, I feel much better. However, I need to calm down. I try to get my fear under control, and as I find myself dreading how painful and difficult the magic circuit transplant will be and how it might fail. This is just a step along the path. I should be more worried about the fight with Berserker, that comes after this. You can turn around, Shiro. Okay. I forgot to breathe. I've seen her bare skin before, but I've never seen Saber like I'm seeing her now as she lies in bed. I feel the tension in the air. It's not just me, Saber is acting weird too. She acted normal when I saw her bare skin before.
ー。シロ、こっち。
Over here,
ここに上
Shiro.
がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって。
Why is this weirdly sexual? It's like someone else is controlling it. I'm walking towards the bed, but it doesn't seem real to me.
セイバー、同調までは私がやるわ。それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど、 持って行きすぎないように注意して。少なければ少ないほどシローの負担は減るから。
Saber, I'll handle things until the sympathizing step. I'll have you take over after that, but make sure not to take too much. The less you take, the less the burden on Shiro
わ
will
かり
be.
ました。お願いします。
Understood. Please go ahead, Rin. I have no idea what they're saying. Right now, it's all I can do to breathe. We get even closer. We're so close, our skin is almost touching. I feel weak breath. I support my weight on my hand. My weight is close to
変革準
hers.
備。実質ボーが接続開始。
The chant begins. I try to focus my consciousness on what's happening and clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber.
小さく小さく小さく。円環航路開始。
That's not what she's saying, game. I only see Saber's face. She's already in a meditative state. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I reluctantly close my eyes.
大きく大きく大きく大きく。愛路行動連続閉鎖。
My senses begin to fade. It's the same floating sensation as when I create my magic circuit every night, the feeling of my ego, my mind leaving my body. This time, though, it's running in reverse. Normally, I feel the sensation coming from my back, but right now, my consciousness is escaping from my chest. The five senses are functions associated with the physical body. The moment my consciousness leaves my body, I lose my sense of hearing, but my ears are more sensitive to Saber's breathing. Her slow, steady breathing begins to speed up. I hear the heart pounding in my chest. Blood rushes through my veins. I leave the vessel known as Shiro and again slide into her body. Well, my consciousness seeks deeper into her. My self swirls and converges, invading her as a solid crystal, pulsing hot breath. Our hearts, not our bodies, touch. Her voice rings out like a bell, and in response, my essence escapes my physical body. My senses are transformed. I have no hands, no legs, no self, but I continue on in this bare state. Time seems to flow backward. Instead of flying, I feel as if I'm being left behind. I accelerate. The body, persona, order, law. I become an arrow, shattering every barrier around me, destroying the boundaries that separate one person from another. Sparks race along the circuit. I freeze in the ecstasy of reaching to the speed of light. They say a person's life flashes by in a single instant. The flashbacks are cruel. Every instant passes by in the blink of an eye. I can't look at it directly, so I find myself going emotionally numb. So this is a mental journey. I'm reminded just how comforting our physical bodies, our anchors, can be. I visualize the foundation of magecraft. The human operation is quantified. Hundreds of institutions, millions of joints form a circuit. The endless complex patterns are in fact the highway, formed by a simple repetition, all heading into the vastness of the future. It's like a vehicle of some kind, heading toward a darkened city of light. Here in the present, my thoughts pass by at the speed of light. Eternity passes in an instant. I pass through the last boundary. I break through and I am inside her. I see a glimpse of Altria's magic circuit, and it's not my own. The changes are extreme. The speed of light, the speed and light of the world vanish all at once. Here it is dark. Here it is heavy. The pressure of it pushes against my bodiless form. The air is so thick I may as well be underwater. My body sinks, feeling only the agony of being clamped inside in a vice. The path is deep and I can't see the bottom. I feel myself fall towards the thick twilight, plummeting deeper into an even denser darkness. It seems impossible that just a moment ago I traveled 10,000 miles in the blink of an eye. Now, even going a single mile seems like it would be an arduous, eternal journey. I feel neither light nor hope. And are these really Saber's magic circuits? They're completely different from mine. The shape of the circuits, the number of pathways, all that differs from person to person, but this is so unlike anything else. This isn't a matter of skill or ability. Saber's magic circuits are fundamentally different than a mage's. The path rumbles. Every time it does, my tiny self nearly shatters. I don't know what Saber's magic circuits are like, but I can tell the sympathizing magecraft is functioning properly. This is not a failure. The dark, heavy pressure of this place doesn't seem like Saber, but it's also not an impure place. It's brimming with life. The flowing air is blood and a swirl of magical energy. I realize I've forgotten to breathe. I haven't needed to. Sinking is painful, but it's not life-threatening. I look up into the darkness I've sunken into, but I seem to be past the point of no return. I can't see anything in this darkness. I'm submerging gradually, but the distance ahead is infinite. The air grows even heavier. My descent slows yet again. I squint into the darkness. The seemingly endless road does have an end. I feel the heat of Saber's body. I feel her every breath so close, the final destination. I reach the source of Saber's magic circuits, the center of her mental world. But what I see is beyond my capacity to understand. It's the core of a star. I reach the embodiment of some impossible, scorching heat, breathing from the depths of the earth. Are we in hell? The fiery red— what the fuck was that? The fiery red surface swirls and there's a splash like stagnant mud. At the bottom— what the fuck? There lurks a giant shadow. Its fiery eye sticks on the tiny intruder. Are we in hell? Whether its master gave the intruder permission to enter or not, it is still a foreign invader in the face of this core. My own consciousness is barely a mote of dust to disturb its function, or a piece of wood to feed its fire. I go up even though I have no throat to swallow with. I take in the entire scene. These are Saber's magic circuits. A heart beyond anything human, so different from ours, which we imagine as lines and circuits. This is a reactor core. If a mage's body is a machine for creating magical energy, then what I am seeing now is an entire factory. But the core is inactive. The key that should activate the core, the spark of power to bring the whole thing to life, has been cut off. Despite the overwhelming ability this core has to produce massive amounts of magical energy, it lacks the initial charge to activate itself. It floats overhead, a stagnant sea of fuel. No matter how much undiluted magical energy fills this endless space, it's useless. It needs to ignite. Even a tiny spark could do the trick. So long as the pathway for magical energy is connected, the core will roar back to life. And to do that, some beyond human knowledge awakens. Pathways running over the lake of magical energy begin to swirl. Red air explodes upwards in a raging pillar. This is what it's like. Is this what it's like to stand in a thundercloud? What the fuck? Is that a dragon? Oh yeah. Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Holy shit! What the fuck? So intense is the roar of raging waves that I don't even properly hear it. In the same way something too massive can't be properly seen, the roar is its own kind of silence to me. What appears at the heart of that blazing core is the embodiment of every threat mankind carries in their hearts. This is inside Saber? Oh, that's not terrifying at all. It has been said that the king is a red dragon that symbolizes Britain. Phantasmal blood runs in their human veins, the child of a sacred star. A dragon, a ruler, the symbol of so many phantasmal species, objects of both awe and fear. The pinnacle of all beasts, appearing at times as a demon, at times a god. This is what lies in Saber's unconscious. Its otherworldly form soothes the servant said to be the best. Good God! The cauldron opens. Vicious fangs are all I see. There can be no resistance. Humans just pale to insignificance before this could never defend against it. No human intelligence could ever conceive of a way to escape. Oh. It must be famished. It devours its prey, which would normally seem as inconsequential as motes of dust, with its bloodshot eyes. And I am at a complete loss for words. I wonder, why do we not eat living meals? It's obvious. We cannot bear to see our food alive. We prefer fresh food, but rarely do we eat anything alive because we feel it's cruel for our food to suffer. In other words, killing the meat we consume before we eat it is our best way of preserving its dignity. A scream of rage tears its way from my throat. I forget who I am and roar like a beast. I try to appeal to the beast. The hatred builds within me. My only resistance is bearing my emotions. I beg for mercy like a crucified sinner as I'm ground to meat. Meal? Meat? What? I don't know what that said. My consciousness grows hazy, muddled. Every purpose and meaning in my life falls away. Any hope of retaining my sanity is as long gone as creation itself. I beg for mercy or something. I didn't see that. My consciousness grows hazy, muddled. Every purpose falls away. Oh. Okay. The pain, the pressure, they're far, far too much. And then, when I came to see it only as a monster, even once I've learned of this hell, I believed I could endure it. The image of Saber, her head hanging low, comes back to me. I recall the meaning of this pain. That meaning drives me forward. It is a literal painful reminder of what I came here to do. I draw in a deep breath and let go of my resistance. It's not the dragon's veins I should be fighting, but the pain twisting through me. I'm not here to run from this path. I'm here to save her pain, to live up to the trust she's placed in me time and time again. And so, I'm here to give her the best thing that I, who has no hope of fighting, can give. The pain is indescribable. I can't reach out to my ground down consciousness. I hone my awareness like a blade, silently as if I were asleep. Here, eternity is but an instant. As long as I can endure this pain, even for an instant, my consciousness will remain. Alright then. I won't let myself feel an ounce of fear. I shall dedicate this pain to you, who will be the one to fight. The pain instantly fades, the red dragon is gone, my consciousness gradually floats back to the surface. Am I weightless because I lost something? As if I'm floating back up to the water surface, I feel myself begin raising up above the reactor, but wait, there's something I want to check before. Ah, it's so warm. The dull-throbbing hum issues from the reactor as it burns the golden light. The elaborate magic circuits shine with a rainbow hue and begin their circulation. The fire is lit. I may be an untrained amateur of a mage, but today I filled my role as her lord. I surrender my body to the wind and float upward. I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword and a figure standing in a grassy field as it dances in the wind. Which one did I find reminiscent? I feel sunlight on my eyelids and slowly open them. Dazed and confused, I check over my own body. My arms and legs are fine, I don't see any wounds. I hear the pain faded the moment I was able to endure it. My physical wounds and even the mental scars seem to have been healed.
Shiro.
I hear a weak voice from under me. The feeling of her soft skin immediately makes me realize who's speaking and the position we're in. Ouch! Saber's lying on the bed with her blouse in disarray while Tosuka is sleeping, cradling her knees to her chest. Tosuka may be fine, but Saber's been under me like this the whole time. Morning, Saber.
おはようございます、シロ。
Good morning, Shiro. We exchange awkward pleasantries. Saber slowly gets up and rearranges her blouse. Crap, we're so embarrassed we can't look each other in the eye. You can already get up, Saber?
はい。魔力の供給を受けられるようになりましたので。
Yes, I can receive your supply of magical energy now. She seems to be back to her normal self. When I carried her last night, she was so weak. It seems she might disappear at any moment, but that weakness is gone now. That's released, so the magic circuit transplant worked.
ですから服を着ていただけませんか、シロ。 その格好のままだと私もなぜか話しづらい。
Would you please put your clothes on, Shiro? I don't know why, but it's difficult speaking to you this way. I look down at myself. Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. I hastily reached for my folded shirt. It's nice of Jessica to fold it up like that. Wait, no, I did that. Why did I fold it so tight? I vividly recall last night's ritual. I connected with Saber, and Tozuka translated my magic circuits deep within Saber. She looks like she's back to normal, but what happened to me? Tozuka warmed up my body and mind might be able to handle the loss of magic circuits, but I don't feel much damage nor any huge sense of loss. I was a little scared, but I checked out my magic circuits myself. The idea of seeing myself just how much I've lost is terrifying, but we're heading into battle against Berserker. I need to understand my own condition. I don't know how to explain it. The overall function of it feels sluggish, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage. I was chewed to pieces, but my magic circuits are still intact. It looks like I'll still be able to do my strengthening magecraft. See, so that means I assume the magic circuits I really use were the ones Tozuka took. I only activate about 1 to 4 circuits when I do strengthening, since I can't do large-scale magecraft anyway. I've never fully activated all my circuits, so she transposes the circuits I don't use to Saber. I close my eyes to assess the situation. It seems this won't affect my strengthening. Yeah. The sluggishness, like I'm running through water, is because my capacity for magecraft has decreased. Strange, though, I feel that I'm connected to something important deep inside myself. I can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but there's a faint line that connects me and Saber. I've gained something truly important in exchange for my lost circuits.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
Well, I must apologize, Shiro. Saber seeks up from somewhere behind me.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限にとどめるよう努力はしました。
I did his best to take as few of your circuits as
です
possible.
が、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、謝罪の言葉も見当たりません。
But even that bare minimal is too much to take from any one person. I have a scar on you that will never fade, and I cannot apologize enough for that.
これは私の不覚です。私が核も力足らずでなければ、シロには。
It's my failure. If only I were stronger, more disciplined, I would not have... That's not true. You have nothing to apologize for, Saber. This all happened because I couldn't supply you with magical energy in the first place. That's solved now, though, so now I can give you the magical energy you need without a problem. I can finally now proudly say that I am Saber's master.
ですが、シロ。
Shiro, don't worry about my magic circuits. I didn't use them all anyway. I even feel better without them, actually. Saber's expression remains clouded. Crap, I never know what to say at times like this. She's recovered and I survived even after the loss of some of my magic circuits. Saber's magic circuits, the dream of light and wind, and Saber in her youth. On top of that, we spent the night touching skin to skin. Calm down. That was a ritual for our survival. I need to calm my mind. If I don't focus, I could mess up during battle. The sleepy rhythm of Tozuka's breathing halts and she grunts. Looks like she's awake too.
おはようございます、リン。
Yo, morning Tozuka. I see Tozuka's hair shift, but her head tilts up. She's not a morning person at all and doesn't look like her usual sharp shelf at all. Thanks, Tozuka. It worked.
私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシロに。
Yes, he's able to supply me with magical energy now, but in exchange he's... No, I only lost about 30%, so don't worry. I can make do with what I still have.
3割ですか。
30%?
なんとか最小にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
I did everything I could to minimize what I took, but I still took 30%. I can't believe my own greed. Greedy, you say? I know you were hungry, but I wish you'd have a little bit better manners. Jessica joining us helps dispel the awkwardness between Saber and me. Now we're back to normal.
そう、じゃあ、いいわね。
Is that so? Well, let's get going. Jessica yawns and gets to her feet. It's almost time for battle. Somewhere in that forest, Berserker and Ilius feel await. If we don't defeat the Hurricane of Death, everything we did last night was for nothing. The connection that was created between me and Saber deep in our hearts. To protect what we created, we'll have to defeat the most powerful enemy of all. Most powerful enemy so far. Their battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Now, in shadow of its former glory, the reception room is in ruins. The floors are cracked and broken, many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed, and broken marble is scattered across the floor. There's hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself has been stolen from this place. After such vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. A sculpture, well suited to such destruction, stands in the middle of it all. Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Ilya Spiel's servant, Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1. Both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2. A massive gash in the neck. 3. Arms practically hanging off the elbows. 4. Something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. Blood gashes from its chest. Its belly is torn open. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. The result unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation. I don't believe this. Who was that guy? Her voice is a low mumble now. The battle came as a humiliation to her. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 could compete with Heracles, the most renowned hero of all time. And yet, some unknown archer defeated him. The Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. For that, he can never be forgiven. To Ilya, it is as if she's just been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose the sword she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable. This is frustrating! I can't believe you let him beat you 6 times! You weren't going easy on him, were you, Berserker? The statue doesn't answer. It has neither the time nor the need to do so. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack. So long as the attack is not the highest possible class, it won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustains any wound. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. But here now, he's been hurt 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows, even if his attacks of a different sort. That is because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. As strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was, if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. A faint light trickles in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. If Berserker, a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever the identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content, maybe even enjoyed himself. I won't forgive them. I'll never forget them. How dare they insult me like this? Ilya's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies. Have you healed, Berserker? Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this would take as much as 3 days. I can't wait that long. Fine, we're killing them now! The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemies easily enough, but if Saber has recovered enough that she can use her noble phantasm, that will be a different story. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there is always that small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing the servant.
5つもあれば十分じゃない。あんな奴らゴッドハンドなんかなくたって敵じゃないもの。
What? 5 lives should be plenty. There's no enemy to worry about, even without your god
それ
hand.
とも何？ここまで私たちをバカにした奴らを見逃してやるっていうの？バーサーカー。
Or what? Are you going to let them get away after they made fools of us, Berserker?
そうでしょ。誰一人として私の森からは逃がさないわ。うん。リンとセーバーはバーサーカーにあげるね。殺すなりもてあそぶなり好きにしていいわ。
That's what you're saying. Nobody's going to escape my forest. Yep, I'm leaving Rin and Saber to you. You can kill them, toy with them, whatever you want. Ilya hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble to exit without a moment concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. Suddenly, she stops as if she remembers something.
さあ、狩りを始めましょう、バーサーカー。
Come, let's begin our hunt, Berserker.
セイバーのマスターは簡単に殺しちゃダメだよ。
But you can't kill Saber's master so
シ
easily.
ローには一番ひどい死に方をさせてあげるんだから。
I'm going to make sure Shiro dies in the worst way imaginable. Ilya heads out of the castle giggling happily. The sun is about to rise. Ilya knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey even if they try to hide. Her targets will have only minutes to live. Yikes. I don't know why, but I'm forced out of the ruins. Tezuka kicks me out, saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that. Damn, what is she talking about? Men have things too, you know. I lean against the wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's exactly it. I remember, then I try to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it would be rude to Saber. I made contact with Saber to save her. I shouldn't have any other feelings for her. What a crock. It's such a pathetic excuse, even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with her, but I need to, for now. Honestly, I don't have time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker. Right, I should be doing whatever I can. He told me that there at the end. I think back to Archer. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I stare at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do. I may not be much help, but I'm going to do whatever I can, as best I can. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch, then I find other straight branches.
終わったから入ってきて。
Shiro, we're done! Come back inside! Tezuka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins, carrying the branches I collected. Well, the other problem is... Oh, excuse me. Whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうです。
This way, Shiro. Rin has something to tell you. I guess I'm worrying over nothing. Saber is her usual self. Unlike me, immature as I am, she's probably just approaching this pragmatically. Oh yeah, I'll be right there. Damn, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm so damn dumb, being the only one blushing over this, so I'm going to do my best to keep my
来
composure.
たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。
There you are. We're going to start our meeting. Well, it may be a meeting, but we don't have time for
バーサー
arguments.
カーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
There's only so much we can do to defeat Berserker, so can you at least hear me out? Saber and I nod.
作戦としては単純よ。
Our plan is
まと
simple.
もな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。
We're no match against Berserker using
勝
normal
つために
means.
は奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。
If we're going to win, we need to ambush him, which means we need to take his head off in a single attack, not leave him any chance to counterattack.
同感です。 バーサーカーと打ち合ったところであれには致命傷を与えられません。倒すのならば打ち合いの外から消すべきでしょう。
I agree. Simply trading blows with Berserker will not critically injure him. If we ought to defeat him, we will require another strategy. Besides trading blows, are you saying we need to attack Berserker before he's realized he's being attacked? Well, sure, I think it's reckless to go toe-to-toe with him, but that just sounds reckless. He's not the sort to just let something like that happen.
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。
Yeah, it's pretty optimistic to think we can go right up to him without him
あっ
noticing
ちには
us.
イリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
He has Ilia's feel. She'll immediately detect Saber and she'll immediately whatever. I mean, I can conceal my presence, so that's not a problem. I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilia can detect me and Saber. That's what she just said. And if Tozuka's the only one who can conceal herself, you're not saying that you'll be the one watching the ambush, are you?
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙をついて後ろからバッサリやるのは任せなさい。
Of course. You're the main target here, and I'm the one who can move freely. Leave striking Berserker from behind to me. You make it sound so easy, but you sure as hell know it won't be.
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。
Of course not. That's why I'm going to have Saber create an opening
セ
for
イ
me.
バー、体はどのくらい回復した？
How much have you recovered?
通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが宝具の使用は避けるべきです。
Fighting normally should not be a problem. However, I should avoid using my noble
今
Phantasm.
の魔力ではおそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますからバーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。
With the amount of magical energy I have right now, I will no longer be able to maintain my body the moment I use it. And even if I do, it will not be at full power. So I do not believe it would be sufficient to defeat Berserker.
ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろんシローも一緒。
Yes, that's fine. I will have Saber be the one to fight Berserker. With Shiro, of course.
私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ二人を見捨てて逃げたとか思うんじゃないかしら。
I'll hide nearby, watching. I'm just a bonus to Ilia's feel. So she'll think I abandoned you two and just ran if she doesn't might see me around.
はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。
I suppose that is not
可
impossible.
能性が低いならあげて。
If our chances are slim, we just have to make them
シロー
better.
はイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Shiro seems to be friendly with Ilia's feel, so he might be able to trick her by talking to her. Zuko looks at me meaningfully. I may have some objections, but I'll hear you out. If I tell Ilia that Tuska fled, she'll believe me. She doesn't doubt what people tell her.
だとしても問題はあります。
Well, there is still a problem.
私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。シローではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。
Well, I can confront Berserker. I cannot permit Shiro to do the same. He simply will not survive an attack from Berserker.
誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。
Nobody said Shiro needs to
シロ
fight.
ーはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。
Shiro just needs to provide backup while keeping his distance from Saber. It's going to be hard for you to push back Berserker alone, so help her out if she gets in danger.
バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。
That's foolish. Shiro's not versed in magecraft
援
like
護と
you.
言っても何を。
What can he do to support me?
それはシローが考えて。
He's going to have to figure that
で
out.
もバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シローだけじゃなくて、私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ張るもの。
Not that masters have a whole lot they can do against Berserker. Even I'd only drag you down if I got involved.
それでも 一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。
But we don't. But we don't. But we just don't have the option to let even one person be idle right
シ
now.
ローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。
I know very well that you'll disappear if he dies, but we're going to have to risk it. This whole battle was a gamble to begin with.
それはそうですが。
That's true, but Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Jessica's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. I can't blame them for being worried. The night I met Saber. The night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. There's a strong possibility that we're headed towards a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not going to do so unless they force me to. I know, I'll try to think of something to support from a distance. Is it really that much of a surprise? I just have to support Saber from a distance, right? I'll come up with something. I grab the tree branches I gathered earlier as I say that. They're just the right length, and exactly the right kind of flexibility. This is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think I'm wrong in principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he had something like this, so I can use it as reference. On top of that, magical energy has been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is repeat my usual process. I analyze this basic structure and change it. I analyze the material's composition, reference it, and reinforce it. Starting from the branch, my result should be his bow, but something's missing. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. I opened my eyes. The warp branch was the right shape, but something wasn't. Crap, it's not even close. It's ugly, distorted. And yet, I can tell it will work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
シロ、今の。
Yeah, I think I got the hang of it after the incident with Shinji. You said it yourself, don't strain myself.
そう。まあ、手段ができたのはいいことだし、今はいいわ。
I see. Well, it's good you have some means to attack, so I won't say anything
話を戻
else.
すけど、
Back to our original
とにか
topic.
く二人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう。私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから。
So you two will fight Berserker. I'll climb the tree before everything starts and watch from above.
セイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら、死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする。
And once Saber's created an opening, I'll skewer Berserker from above, which should be his blind spot, with all my gems.
作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど、
That's all there is to our plan. It's pretty simple. Berserker turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか。
Jumps, is that your mage
だとし
Catherine?
ても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません。彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから。
Even if all this would work, no amount of half-baked magecraft would reach Berserker's body. If we have to harm him, we will need an attack of truly surpassing power.
分かってる。要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ。
I know that. You're saying we need an attack that's at least rank A. As she says this, Tuska pulls several jewels from her pocket.
その宝石は
What are these
私が
jewels?
物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよ。これ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる。10個あったんだけどね。一つはあなたに使っちゃったわ。
Think of it as like my life savings. A single one of these can immediately activate into a great magecraft at rank A. I had... oh my god. I had 10 of these, but I used one on you.
そうか。あの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない。
Oh, I see. If it is of the same caliber of magecraft, then I can say for sure that Berserker will not be able to defend
彼には
himself.
私のような対魔力はありません。魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する。
He does not have magic resistance like I do. Even if it's magecraft, an A rank should definitely pierce his defenses.
そういうことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど、悠長なことは言ってられないわ。バーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから。
Exactly. I thought of starting with small batches, but we can't afford to take that much time. I'm thinking of giving Berserker 2 or 3 of these. Tezuka puffs out her chest confidently. However, aren't you being a little stingy?
同感です。私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半分使い切るくらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。
Well, I agree. It may not be my place to say, but I believe under the circumstances you should at least use half your stock.
何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ。
Why would you say that? That's not your call.
あなたたちね、私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ。
You guys don't understand how hard it was to save all this up. Saber and I protest silently. Tezuka's life depends on this operation too. We can't just let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy.
わかったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ、使えば。
Fine, just half, right? Just half.
何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらいわかってるんだから。
Come on, I just been kinda wanted to say that. I know what that's sake here.
とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。
Anyway,
あ
that's
と
our
は
plan.
私が隠れられて、シローがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
All we have to do now is find a place for me to hide and a spot for Shiro to support Saber. We should get set up before Ilias Field gets here. Yeah, we can't stay in these rooms anymore. Like Tosuka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie and wait for Berserker. But before that... Really? Kind of worried about... I'm going to say Tosuka, because we've been doing, like, Saber a lot. And, I mean, neither of them are going to like me checking in on them. So... I'm worried about Tosuka. I hope I'm wrong, but Tosuka won't be stingy about her gems, will she? Wait a sec, I just want to be sure here. You're not going to hold back, right? I know jewels are expensive, but your life is worth a lot more.
うちの財政を知らないからそんな無責任なことが言えるのよ。シロだってこれ一つがどのくらいするか知ったら腰が抜けるに決まってるんだから。
Easy for you to say. You don't illustrated my finances. You'd probably lose your mind if you found out how much even one of these is worth. I'd never lose my mind over money. Fine, if you're so adamant, then I'll help with it. I just have to pay for half the value of the jewels you use, right?
本当？男に二言はない？
Really? A man doesn't go back on his word. Nope, I have some savings and I can earn money. If I don't have enough. I'm having you use weapons to accumulate over a lot of time, so I should help out too. Okay, I might be making this offer out of pride. I guess I want Tosuka to see me in a positive light no matter what. Hey, wow, that's a really weird look. Oh.
ええ、嬉しいのは本当だし、楽しみができたのも本当だから。
Well, yes, I'm happy about it. And now I have something to look forward to.
ところでエミヤくん、この宝石一つどれくらいするのか聞かなくていいのかしら？
By the way, Emiya, aren't you curious about how much one of these gems is worth? Well, I suppose it's about 100,000 yen or
ない
something.
わね。使い捨ての宝石ならそれぐらいでいいんだけど。
No, that would get you a cheap throwaway gem at best. The 200,000
半
yen?
端な上がり方ね。でもないわよ。
Not going up in much there. Still wrong. Okay, how about 250,000 yen?
あのさ、普通こういう時って次の桁に移行しない？
You know, what you usually do when you're guessing prices is you add
なんでいつ
zeros.
までも6の桁から上に行かないのよ。
Why are you not going up past the 100,000s? I didn't want to say it, but 300,000?
だからなんで7桁に行かないの？
Again, I ask, why do you refuse to go up another digit? Could it be 1,000,000 yen? The ground was falling away at my feet.
近い。もう一桁。
Close, add another zero. And I'm about to fall right into the bowels of hell itself. That's astronomical. I never heard a number so devastating before. If I were to turn that number to points of damage, I could beat any video game boss in a heartbeat.
どうしたの？顔青いわよ、エミヤくん。
What's wrong? You look pale, Emiya. No, I'm fine. I can calculate fine. Oh, I can calculate alright, and it's hurting more than math ever should.
そう？じゃあ一応聞いておくけど、 宝石使っていいのよね。出し惜しみなしですがすがしいぐらい派手にやるわよ、私。
Oh, really? Then I'll ask you one more time. I can use my gems, right? I won't hold back. It'll be spectacular. Are you good with that? I felt the desire to tell Tosuka to use them sparingly. Tosuka, I'm going to be in your depths. I try to sound as brave as I can.
もちろん。利子はつけないであげるから、一生かけて返してね。
Of course. I won't charge you interest, so you can spend all your life paying me back. She clearly isn't joking. Even if I spend my whole life working to do it, I'll never be able to pay that back. I'd rather not think about it, but I think Tosuka is going to be in charge of my life from now on. We reach a clearing in the forest. The sun is rising and a white layer of morning mist blankets the forest. Compared to the much denser forest around us, this is a good vantage point. This place doesn't seem bad.
そうね。条件はいくらかクリアしてるけど、見晴らしが良すぎるのがどうもね。これじゃあ私はともかくセイバーとシローの逃げ道がないもの。
Yes, it meets most of our conditions, but it might not actually be too open. I should be able to escape, but it might be tough for you and Saber. Jessica is such a perfectionist if she's even considering escape routes.
他を渡りましょう。大丈夫。まだ時間はあるわ。
Let's try somewhere else. We still have some time. Jessica returns to the forest. But Saber stands motionless, staring off into the
セイ
distance.
バー何してるのよ。早くしないとイリアスフィールに。
Saber, what are you doing? We need to hurry or else... A chill runs up my spine. I can never forget this feeling. I can't see him or feel his presence, but the sudden weight of the air pressing down around me is definitely coming from him. Gulp. Ilya's voice echoes from somewhere in the forest, beyond the mist. From deeper in the forest, a dark figure approaches. Wait right there! I'm coming to kill you. Maybe it's because we're in a clearing with an open view of the sky, but it feels like Ilya is peeking down at us from up in the clouds.
パパ、あいつもうシロを見つけたの？
Crap, did she find us already?
ここじゃ視界が広すぎる。何よこのスピード。これじゃ2分かからない。
This isn't good. This place is too wide open. How fast is she? We have less than 2 minutes until she...
ちょっと何のんびりしてるのよ2人とも。
Hey, what are you two waiting for?
まずいって言ってるでしょ。早く場所を変えないと。
I keep telling you this is a bad spot. We need to go somewhere fast. Tosuka grabs our hand, but it's too late. No, this is fine, Tosuka. We're lucky enough that the three of us are able to fight together. We can't ask for anything more.
バカ、それがまずいんだってば。ここじゃ横幅がありすぎるの。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを止められないし、いくら離れてたってあんたも前に入っちゃうじゃない。
You dummy, that's exactly the problem. It's way too open here. Saber can't handle Berserker alone, and you can't get out of his range to support her here. I know you're concerned for me, but we're all in danger here. Besides, we can't escape now anyway.
それはそうだけど。
That's true, but... Are you ready, Saber? We're fighting Berserker here. Saber nods quietly.
もう、わかったわよ。簡単にやられたら怒るからね。
Come on! Fine! I'll be really ticked if you two get thrashed! Tosuka, apparently convinced, disappears into the mist. When she gets into action, she acts quickly. She darts into the forest and then scrambles up a tree. The coming Saber, are you ready?
戦いが始まったら決してここから前には出ないように。何があろうとバーサーカーをここには近づけさせません。
Wish us the same. Once the battle begins, please do not move past this point. I will not let Berserker near this spot. The mist wavers. Out of the morning fog, a dark shadow spreads across the clearing. A mad warrior led by a pale girl steps into view.
てっきり最後まで逃げ回るとばかり思ってたのに。それとも、もう観念したの？お兄ちゃん。
This is a surprise. I thought you were going to flee until the end. Or had you given up, brother? Ilya is about 40 meters from me. We face each other from opposite ends of the clearing.
セイバーは治ったんだ。そっか。だから逃げ回るのはやめにしたのね。
Oh, so Saber got better. That must be why you stopped
欲しい
running.
な。そんなことで私に勝てると思うのは可愛いんだけど。
What a shame. It's cute that you think it'll be enough to beat me, though.
残念ね。 シロはここで死ぬんだもの。
Sorry, you're going to die here. Her giggles echoed in the forest. Apparently that ticked her off. Saber, still sitting beside me, is practically vibrating with animosity. She might launch herself forward at any moment.
もうつまんないな。ずいぶん無口になっちゃったのね。もしかして殺されるのは怖いの？そんなのもったいないよ。今命乞いをすれば私も許してあげないこともないんだから。
Oh, you're all quiet now. You're so boring. Are you scared of dying? What a waste. If you beg for your life, maybe I'll consider sparing you. Tozuka's probably in position. She'll probably want to be as close to the center of the clearing as she can. There's a spot where the tree branches overlap. It should be sturdy enough to support her weight.
そう。あくまでそういう態度なんだ。なら、もうおしゃべりはここまでだね。リンともども殺してあげ。
I see. So that's how it's going to be. Enough chatter then. I'll kill you in...
待ちなさい。リンはどうしたの？シロ。
Wait, where's Rin? I have to go to Berserker's master. She knows better than to overlook any details. Tosuka's gone. We stopped working together a while ago.
別行動を取ったの？そっか。セイバーを連れてるシロは足手まといだものね。リン一人ならもっと遠くに逃げられる。
So you two split up? That figures. You and Saber could only drag her down. She should be able to do pretty well on her own. Well, there you go. She's probably up out of the forest by now. I doubt we'll catch up to her. Even if you go after her right now.
そうかしら。この森はアインツベルンの結界よ。
You think so? This forest is an Ironsburn bounded
誰
field.
が入ってきて誰が出ていったかぐらいはわかるんだから。あれから外に出た人間は一人もいない。リンはまだ森にいるわ。探し出すのはこの後でも十分よ。
I always know the instant someone enters or leaves. Nobody's left, so Rin's still in the forest. I have plenty of time to deal with her once I've taken care of you. That's a relief. If Ilya only detects who's going in and out of the forest and she doesn't know where Tosuka is right now, that and she'd believe my story pretty easily. Ilya is truly a merciless master, but is she too merciless to have a chance to start over? Before we fight, there's something I want to ask you. Would you consider quitting being a master and ending this battle?
できないよ。おじいさまの言いつけだもの。
I can't. This is grandfather's
バー
command.
サーカーがいる限り、私はアインツベルンのマスターなの。イリアは他のマスターたちを殺して聖杯を持ち帰らなくちゃいけないんだから。
Among its berserkers run, I'm the master of the Ironsburns. I need to kill other masters and bring home the Holy Grail.
それに、もう一度だけ聞くのはこっちだよ。
But I'm the one who should be asking you a
私
question.
はアインツベルンの当主だから、あんな言葉二度は言わないわ。けど、シローが答え直すって言うんなら、ちゃんと聞いてあげてもいいんだよ。
I'm the head of the Ironsburn household, so I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier, but I might reconsider if you're willing to change your answer. She sounds almost hopeful. As long as I have Saber with me, I can't agree to what she's asking. My answer is unchanged. I'm Saber's master. If you're not going to quit being master, I'll defeat Berserker and make you quit. I look at both Ilya and Berserker and say that. In that instant, the air in the clearing tenses with a sharp snapping sound.
そう。なら、本気で殺してあげる。
I see. Then I'm going to kill you
そ
now.
の思い上がりと一緒に、粉々に砕いてあげるわ、シロー。
I'm going to annihilate you, right down to that conceited head of yours. What the heck's that? There's some sort of inscription appearing on Ilya's face. No, it's not just her face. It's a huge command spell covering her entire body, and I can even see it at this distance. It's so much more massive than the ones we have.
遊びは終わりよ。蹴散らしなさい、ヘラクレス。
Playtime is over. Trample them, Heracles. Ilya's voice is completely lifeless. In response, the giant behind her howls. His roar shakes the earth. He screams and thrashes like he's lost his mind. His abilities grow even more powerful, like his body is swelling with deformed
そん
masses.
な理性を奪っていただけで凶暴化させていなかったというのか。
That's impossible. Was she only depriving him of reason rather than letting him go berserk? I'm not surprised Saber is shuddering. Even I, who can't gauge the warrior's strength, can tell I shouldn't be getting anywhere near that monster.
近寄る者はみんな殺しちゃえ。バーサーカー。
Go! Kill everything you see, Berserker! The air explodes. The giant bellows a roar so different from its anguished wail and leaps. Saber! A streak of silver surges forward in answer. Berserker lands in the middle of the clearing. The earth shakes. Saber intercepts Berserker as if stopping a meteor. Good lord. It's like watching a mythical battle unfolding right in front of me. In a forest shrouded by morning mist, two shadows clash relentlessly. Berserker is simply overwhelming. Berserker swipes are like whirlwinds. His downward strikes like waterfalls, even Saber wouldn't survive a direct hit. But Saber deflects every attack without faltering or hesitating. She swipes aside the barrage of strikes, raining on her like a raging storm. To fail would mean being cut down on the spot. To Saber, each of the rapid blows seemed to strike with her opponent's full might. The clash of swords echoes around the clearing. Berserker has greater reach, Berserker is faster, Berserker has more stamina. All Saber can do is parry the titanic surges with wind from Berserker's swings, to mitigate the sheer strength, all just to avoid being cut in half. Berserker is like a broken jackhammer. His blade spins in all directions, annihilating anything in its path. Just getting in reach could only be fatal. There would be no hope of escape. They'd get caught in that whirling blade and ground to dust. No normal human would have a chance against that. And if getting close can only mean death, then the only option is fleeing. But Saber steps into the whirlwind and doesn't retreat. She'll be shredded to pieces. The sword sparks off her, slowly chipping her armor away. Standing in the middle of that vortex, she could be dead in a heartbeat. I can only hold my breath. In ancient times, heroes who fought dragons and demonic beasts must have all been like this, like her. They know perfectly well how vast the gap in strength between them is. But they bet everything on a 1 in a million shot. A seething mass of violence beyond anything humans are capable of. They just defended until a single opportunity presented itself. Many warriors died without ever seeing the miracle they were waiting for. That's exactly what this battle is. It's a glamorous, eye-catching battle, but it only ends one way, with Saber's defeat. Each blow chips away a little more at her. Berserker's roar shakes the ground. The sheer whirlwind of his frenzy churns up the atmosphere and sends Berserker flying as she tries to defend. Every time Berserker's attack chip away a bit of Saber's armor, she's thrown to the ground, but instead of remaining down or on her knees, Saber charges right back at Berserker every time, but she's at her limit. Saber's breathing is labored and her movements are visibly slowing. There won't be any opening. In a few moments, Berserker's titanic weapon will shatter Saber's sword. I grip the bow I made. I'm going to... just do anything we can. Why not just aim at Ilya? The moment Saber goes flying, I fire at Berserker. This won't hurt him, but it should at least get his attention. The arrow hits Berserker squarely on the temple, but doesn't even leave a scratch. I can't even get his attention. The giant does not block the arrow, he doesn't even seem to care. That's right, Berserker! Leave Shiro alone! You can do whatever you want with him after you kill Saber! Ilya's laugh echoes through the forest. I can't do anything. Saber's about to collapse right in front of me, but I can't do anything. I'm powerless. No matter what I do, I can't hurt Berserker, and I'm just distracting Saber. A slash. Saber sinks into the ground all the way to her ankles as she parries a massive blow. The parrying blade is swift but heavy. The axe sword strikes down from overhead. The brutally powerful weapon grazes Saber's armor as she dodges, then tears up the earth itself. My jaw is clenched so hard my teeth could well shatter. Is there really nothing I can do? I can't protect Saber, I can't fight alongside her, there's nothing I can do. All I can do is...
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。お前にできることなど、所詮その程度でしかないのだから。
Archer said something like that.
外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは、自身のイメージに他ならない。
Yeah, what was he saying again? It was one of his typical snide remarks, but he said had weight and importance to it, and I needed to understand that again. Probably everything he told me was a warning I shouldn't ignore. Saber goes flying. This time it's not because I leaped away to evade. She leaped away to evade. Berserker hit her this time. The Hurricane Flash strikes Saber in the side. She stumbles. Coughing violently, she grips her weapon tighter and turns back toward Berserker. The giant just missed the opening Saber finally provides. My voice doesn't reach them. Shouting is useless and trying to use the bow like Archer would be pointless. Don't I understand yet? What can I do? What could these hands of mine be doing? That's right. What do I need to save Saber? I can't use a bow, a spear won't pierce him. Having a weapon just like the enemies is no solution either. To go up against that giant, a sword to cut through a mountain of stone, an opulent sword sharper than sharp, that will never dull, a king's sword able to cut down enemies in a single blow, like that golden sword I saw in my dream, a sword fit for her. My head hurts. I try to fight down my nausea, but I never take my eyes off Saber. Strangely, the longer I watch her fall, the more this indescribable pain assaults me. Saber and Berserker seem to be moving in slow motion. I see a row of switches line up. Saber coughs, and for a brief second she arches in pain. Berserker smashes his axe sword down toward her with all his might, as if there's a row of nails in need of hammering down. It's like he's knocking down dominoes. The switch flips. Saber! Berserker's axe sword cuts Saber down. She's going to die. The strike splits Saber's in half at the waist, and pieces of her flesh go flying. No, that's not what's happening. The only thing that's gone flying is pieces of armor. Berserker's only split Saber's armor. Saber left herself open to bait Berserker into a single huge swing. With every ounce of strength she has, she rushes at him. A black roar rips through the air, but she can't escape now. Saber's right in front of him. She shifts her grip of the sword and darts in closer, then swings with all her might. I don't believe this. Saber detects the stone of the giant, who had seemed so immovable, flies back several meters. And then... Get back, Saber! Then comes the true attack. She must intend to release the attack from as close as possible. Totsuka jumps down from the branch above and throws her jewels at Berserker as she falls. Shards of ice rain on Berserker. Among those shards are 3 giant spear-shaped icicles, each packed with enough magical energy to blow an entire mansion to smithereens. No! Dodge it, Berserker! Ilya, quiet until now, suddenly screams at her servant. She must have sensed the danger, but too late. The ice spears aren't falling. They're accelerating towards Berserker. He can't possibly dodge. A 1 in a million opportunity. Saber's desperate attack perfectly coordinated with the ice bolt attacks. It has more than enough magical energy to kill Berserker. But... the axe sword slices through the air. Even as Saber drives him back, he switches to a single-handed grip on his axe sword and shatters all 3 ice spears. Blood splatters the clearing. Maybe this is one art's swing, but he fails to completely destroy the ice, and when it strikes, it severs one of his arms. That's not all. The ice fuses over Berserker's arm, completely restraining it, but it only got 1 arm. Saber cries out. It's a reasonable response. Berserker catches Totsuka with a goat arm as she falls. Totsuka's face twists in pain. Berserker will have no trouble tricking Totsuka with his hand. Totsuka! I run. I don't care if I drag them down. It doesn't matter if I can't do anything. I'm not going to let her die. Saber must be too weak to even stand, but somehow she gets to her feet. Totsuka must be in agonizing pain, but she stretches a hand out as she hangs her head downward, and then... just as I thought. She grins wickedly. Everyone gasps. Saber, me, and even Berserker must have all frozen in our tracks. One person can only have so many tricks up their sleeve. She might knew this happened. She knew this might happen, and she hasn't even bothered to tell us. Berserker squeezes harder around her. He's a heartbeat too late. Got you! Four bullets of pure light streak towards Berserker. 4 bullets, 4 gems, 4 rapid shots of the most extreme close range. That has to be enough to even end the Dark Mad Warrior, or rather, the attack perfectly, completely snuffs out his life. It must have blown Berserker's head clean off. The blood splatter even reaches me 10 meters away from where Berserker stands. kind of a lot more than blood in the mess, but I don't think she overdid it. Our opponent was a monster. Berserker would have crushed Tosuka if he hadn't blown his head off. I slowed my frantic run. Tosuka is still in Berserker's grip, but the battle's over. Berserker's face is still hidden in a plume of smoke. From that stinging sound, it must have been a hell of an... Nope. I hear Tosuka's voice. She's looking at this smoke in disbelief. Hold on. Am I imagining things? Did Berserker's hand tighten on her? Tosuka's staring at the plume of smoke. It doesn't last long. The smoke starts to dissipate in the clearing air. Berserker's face. The face should have been blown off his body appears. Tosuka cowers into the evil demon's gaze at a loss for words. Laughter fills the air. Ilya, who's remained at the far side of the clearing, laughs delightedly.
まさか一回だけでもバーサーカーを殺すなんてね。
I see you in a new light, Rin. I didn't think you could have possibly killed Berserker even
でも
once.
残念でした。バーサーカーはそれくらいじゃ消えないんだ。だってね、そいつは12回殺されなくちゃ死ねない。
12 times for 12 labors. Oh, fuck. Editor. Fuck, I just fucked up.
Uso.
見直したわり。でも残念でした。バーサーカーはそれくらいじゃ消えないんだ。だってね、そいつは12回殺されなくちゃ死ねない体なんだから。
But too bad. Berserker wouldn't disappear that easily. You see, he can't die unless he's killed 12 times.
12回殺される。
Killed 12 times? She must have figured it out from what Ilya just... Tosuka looks aghast, her face twisting in regret.
神名が分かった時点で思い当たるべきだった。ヘラクレスって言ったらヒドラの弓なのに、持ってるのはただの岩だった。
I should have figured it out as soon as they learned his true name. Heracles should have the bow of Hydra, but his only weapon was a rock.
こいつの宝具は物じゃないんだ。英雄ヘラクレスのシンボルは、その
His noble phantasm is an object he's carrying. The symbol for the hero Heracles is...
肉体そのものがヘラクレスの宝具なのよ。
That's right. His body itself is his noble
あなたも知
phantasm.
っているでしょ。ヘラクレスの12の難行を。ギリシャの英雄ヘラクレスは己が罪を償うために12もの冒険を乗り越え、そのご褒美として不死になった。
You should know about Heracles' 12 labors. The Greek hero overcame 12 monumental tasks to atone for his sins, and his reward was
その
immortality.
意味、あなたならわかるでしょ。
You know exactly what that means, don't
命
you?
のストック。蘇生魔術の重ねがけ。
A stockpile of lives. Layers of resurrection magecraft.
ええ。だからそいつは簡単には死ねないの。かつて自分が乗り越えた分の試練は生き延びてしまう。神々にかけられた不死の呪い。
Yep, that's why he can't die easily. He possesses the curse of immortality given by the gods so that he can endure the same number of trials or deaths once he once
それ
overcame.
が私のバーサーカーの宝具、ゴッドハンドなんだから。
That's my Berserker's double phantasm, God Hand.
わかった？バーサーカーは今ので死んでしまったけど、あと5つの命があるの。
Understand? You killed Berserker there, but he still has 5 lives left.
欲しかったわね、リー。今のが5倍の宝石だったら、バーサーカーは消えていたのに。
You were so close, Rin. Berserker would have disappeared if you'd only used 5 times the gems you already did. I can't hear Ilya's voice clearly. From the corner of my eye, I see Saber charging Berserker.
逃げて。
Rin, run! Saber dashes over. Berserker tries to pry open Berserker's fingers, but they won't budge, and then...
いいよ、バーサーカー。そいつ潰しちゃえ。
It's okay, Berserker. Crush her! The burning eyes glare at Tosuka. Tosuka screams. Berserker's enormous fingers dig into her, trying to rip out her insides. There's only one outcome. Jessica's lifeless body being crushed into nothing. I run. I forget who I'm up against. I even forget where I am. My mind is completely burned out.
させるか
I will not allow it! Saber cuts towards Berserker. Her invisible sword swings Berserker as it's slicing through a radish. But it's no use. Saber's attack pings harmlessly opposite. His grip on Tosuka doesn't loosen. Just moving must be agony for Saber. She swings her sword desperately, blood trickling from her mouth.
シロ
Shira! She freezes the instant she sees me rushing at Berserker. Let go of her, you bastard! I slap mindlessly at his back with my bow. The giant is unfazed. He doesn't consider me a threat. My fingers are getting numb. What the hell is he if I'm the one going numb from hitting him?
シロ
Run, Shiro! I look up when I hear Saber. In that instant, I go flying through the air like a leaf. I hit the ground and tumble like a bit of stray garbage. Berserker smacked me away with that frozen sword. I try to block the attack with my bow, but it shatters instantly. I'm thrown so far away. I writhe in pain. That breaking sound had to come from the bow. One of my arms is bent at the wrong angle in the wrong spot. When I breathe, my lungs hurt so bad I want to puke them up. I can't breathe properly with all the blood filling my mouth. But that doesn't matter. Breathing will just make me pass out. Better that I not breathe. I wake up. Right now I need to get to him. Him! I run. It's my turn. I'm going to break his arm and save Tosuka. I think she's gone, dude. She's gone! He must have eyes in the back of his head. He swings the sword casually, like batting aside a fly. I can dodge it. I won't let an arm that's completely frozen hit me so easily. Damn, my body's sinking. He must have grazed my leg. Damn him! I didn't even touch my leg, but he somehow managed to break it anyway.
バカなもういい離れなさいマスター
Ridiculous! Nothing else. Stay back, master! I can't do that. I can't let Tosuka die. What do I need to do to save her? A weapon, a blade would be best. At my feet, broken pieces of the bow above me. There's no time to think. I let magical energy flow through me. The strengthening succeeds easily, but down comes Berserker's sword. The fragments are completely, finally pulverized. I meant to dodge, but instead my body slams to the ground. Clearly there's no point in strengthening broken shards. I'll have to do this from scratch. It shouldn't be impossible. Anyone can imitate as long as they have an example to follow. I just need to duplicate the foundation structure, work, experience, time, and... The giant turns around. It must have decided to kill the little nuisance before finishing Tosuka off. I push up from the ground and glare at the giant. There's no fear. I'm too burned out for fear. But behind me... I see someone prepared to disappear. I see someone determined to use the sacred sword. Is that really our choice? Don't use it! We got this! We got this, man! We got this! Come on, we got this! We got this! One peels back from the blade. The golden sword begins to reveal itself in Saber's hand. I told her not to use it. The sword I told her to never use no matter what. I snap. The last thread that had been holding me together finally gives. Don't use it, Saber! My left hand burns. A command spell stroke disappears.
どうして
Why? We have no other choice! Oh my god. I'm too hyped. I don't care. To hell with that. All I know is that if she uses it, she'll disappear. You're already on your last legs from just unleashing your sword. You can't use it right now. Just hold on. If you can't use your sword, I'll make one you can use.
現実でかなわない相手なら想像の中で勝て自身が勝てないのなら勝てるものを幻想しろ
It's so obvious. It's the only thing I can do. I have to make it. I have to make something that won't lose. It shouldn't be that hard. It's not something impossible. Since the beginning, my body has been a specialized magic circuit for this purpose alone. I leap up. My entire body burns like it's on fire. My left hand is crimson.
あの剣は私の
Well, so does mine! Saber's voice rings with shock of disbelief. She's staring at the weapon in my hands, at the thing that shouldn't exist. The sword seems to have a will of its own. Whoa! The golden blade moves as it is being drawn from the giant's arm. It lashes at him, tearing through the arm. Jessica falls to the ground along with the arm that had been holding her. The golden sword shatters as if it had been made of glass. My blood begins to flow backward. It doesn't matter. The sword broke. That's impossible. If I imitated that sword, it shouldn't have shattered like that. It shattered because it wasn't sufficient. My image of the sword wasn't enough. Berserker's furious gaze towards me. His massive sword swings up at me. This time he's determined to cut me in half. It doesn't matter. Berserker, you're not my enemy right now. I'm only fighting against one person right now. That last one wasn't perfect. My image of it was flawed, so the sword that should have been invincible broke. If I'm to duplicate things, I need to work on not just their shape, but also their maker. I hear the others holding their breath. In front of me, I see the axe sword falling toward me like an oncoming storm, and a half-orbed sword ready to block it. In desperation, I try to use the sword to block the incoming blade, but that doesn't matter to me. Right now, I need to finish this blade to make it real. You don't have to remind me. What I need to do is simple. Projection start. I concentrate. I'm challenging my own self. There can be neither deviation nor compromise. Determining creation ideology, anticipating base instance, duplicating material structure, replicating the forger's skill, resonating with the possessor's experience, imitating the uncountable years, surpassing every manufacturing process. Illusion shall bind with reality to forge a sword. Let's go! Let's go! My sword deflects the countless gusts assailing me from the enemy's furious attacks. But that's about it. I'm knocked away from him. The moment I come to, the sword leaves everything to me. The attack I blocked so easily moments ago now tosses me around effortlessly. I can't feel my arms. The skin of my wrist is blistered and red. I'm surprised. I can't even keep my grip on the sword. My legs do not work. I can only imagine every muscle shredded to ribbons. I can't get up. I made a sword that surpasses Berserker, but that's all. I'm just the one who made it. I can't wield a sword I worked so hard to make. A shadow looms over me. He must know who he has to kill first now. I rush away, and Berserker rushes after me like a gust of wind swings toward me, but it's deflected. Complete disbelief, I realize another hand is closed around my own. The air splits around me. The giant attacks with all his might, trying to destroy everything around him. But right before that happens... Shiro, your hand! She's so close I can hear her voice over the din. If Berserker is a storm from coming to attack me... Hold on, I kind of want that to be the thumbnail. Hold up! Saber is a gale rushing to my side. Saber sprints over to me and twists around, gripping me firmly. Kaboom! The rock sword shatters. The golden flash explodes with the giant's axe sword and continues ahead, slicing through Berserker's rock-like body without slowing. Maybe I copied the form so well that I copied some of his abilities too. The golden sword lodges deep in Berserker's body and glows so brilliantly that light pours from the giant's body. Then in an instant, the light fades and the forest falls silent. All the strength flees my limbs. The heat that had been surging through me rapidly cools. The sword I've made begins to disappear. I watch it vacantly. Saber and I remain together, holding the sword in our hands until it's disappeared completely. Wind sweeps through the clearing. The earth shaking howl and the blade that had churned up the very air are gone. So is that your blade, Saber? Oh, so is that your blade, Saber? The previous invincible giant now immobile looks to the knight who defeated him and speaks in a low, rumbling voice. This is Caliban. The sword on the stone meant to select the king. It's my blade and it was lost forever. However... It is not your sword anymore. It was merely an illusion that boy created. Saber nods quietly. An imitation. A blade that will never exist again. Yet... Berserker's chest opens up, he begins to dissolve. His body begins to crumble like wet sand, beginning where the sword pierced him and rapidly expanding outward.
その幻想も侮れぬ。よもやただの一撃でこの身を7度滅ぼすとはな。
But that illusion should not be underestimated. I never expected it could have destroyed me 7 times over in a single blow. His dying words are spoken without emotion. The mad warrior keeps to his role until his very end and fades away in a dispersing haze into the misty morning air. Dizziness rocks me where I stand. This is probably the price for such excessive use of magecraft. The blood that rages through me is putting pressure on my brain, sending far too much oxygen out to the rest of my body. My head feels like it could split open. The enemy has disappeared, and whatever was numbing the pain earlier has faded. As if to make me pay for the accumulative toll of this incredible battle, the dizziness and headache crash into me like twin meteors.
シロ
Shiro. I'm about to collapse, but Saber supports me. Saber shouldn't have the energy for that either at this point. No, I'm fine. I've got a few broken bones, but nothing fatal. I've got that healing thing. It's already kicking in, so I'll be
何
fine.
を言うのです。あれだけの投影魔術を使ったのですから今は休息を取らないと。
That's nonsense. He used protection magecraft to the extreme. Yes, rest right now. There's someone I have to talk to first.
イリアスフィール
Saber stands ready. Ilya stares at where Berserker had been standing, her eyes hollow.
ちょうどいい。何のつもりかは知りませんが追う手間が省けました。潔くここで。
Good. I do not know if there's a reason for her to remain here, but she has spared us the need to pursue her. She shall die grace. No, Saber, don't hurt Ilya. Without Berserker, she's... I stopped Saber with the last remaining strength I have. Ilya doesn't even seem to notice we're here. She just stares at the ground.
嘘。まさか死んじゃったの？
No way. Did you die, Berserker? She sounds like an abandoned child. Ilya lifts her head absentmindedly. It happens suddenly. She collapses like a puppet with the strings cut. I don't know what happened. I just stare at Ilya where she lies. And at almost the same moment, Tuska raises her hand. She's freed now that the Berserker's arm disappeared. I also listened at the moment I learned Tuska was safe. My vision blurs and I can feel my body trying to pass out. I can't show that kind of weakness. We had defeated Berserker but was still in the forest. Rare as we are, we have to force ourselves to get out of the forest. I look up at the sky as it begins to lighten. The town is a long way away, but all my allies are wounded and every single inch of me hurts, and yet the morning has come. When we survived tonight, I was prepared not to. Defeating our greatest enemy, we leave the Winter Forest. And that's gonna be it! Holy fuck, dude! Oh, that was hype. Oh, holy shit! Oh my god, my voice is so sore. How long is this video? 3 hours, holy shit. Oh, fucking hell. That was insane. That was insane. Ooh, boy. God, motherfucking damn.